tree branches fall off trees. And it was like the whole time we were driving across country, we were watching movies too. And we were watching Twister all the time. So I really thought that I was going to die for sure. I lived. But then when I lived in Iowa, I lived in the Quad Cities. They had like a little small tornado that came through. And I was like, I will never live in a place with tornadoes. So all of you that live in places with tornadoes, you're very brave. But also, it's probably I liked living in Davenport. It was way cheaper. It was slower. Everything was. I met Huba Stank, which was terrific. Sorry about that. Do hurricane? Yeah, hurricanes is wild too. Hurricanes is way worse. Whatever happened to Huba Stank? I don't know. I don't know. It didn't last very long, did they? The story, I don't know if I've told you guys a story. So we were, while Felice is showing up, I was in Moline, Illinois, which is on the other side of Davenport, Iowa. There's like the river between them, and there's this or maybe it was Rock. Yeah, I think it's Moline. And they have this downtown area that's all the bars, and like every weekend they would have. There's like the river between them, and there's this or maybe it was Rock. Yeah, I think it's Moline. And they have this downtown area that's all the bars, and like every weekend they would have. We knew Huba Stank was showing up, sitting at a table, and we had like one extra seat. And this guy just came in, and he's like, "Hey, can I sit here? I'm just waiting." We're like, "Yeah." So we talked for a while, and we kept making jokes about like the Huba Stank crowd, because they were all. It was a lot of Affliction shirts. It was a lot of Bedazzled on the jeans. And so we just kept making jokes at the table like, oh, there's more of the Huba Stank crowd. And then he eventually asked us what we were doing there. We were working. We're like, what are you doing? He's like, oh, I'm here just working too. We're like, what do you do? He's like, I'm in a band. And it was the lead singer of Huba Stank, who is, I believe, Filipino, maybe? I wasn't ready for that. And we were like, sorry, man. We don't really listen to music. He's like, that's okay. It's not for everybody. I have a picture with him from that night. I'll have to text my
This is what
friend.
happens when I'm a few minutes late. We
We're
have to
talking
talk
Huba
about
Stank.
Huba Stank.
Yeah, wait your turn to tell your Huba Stank
Terrible
story.
music choices. What? Eve
No,
6. Huba Stank.
Don't go after Eve 6. How dare you? They put my heart in a blender. That's how much that's a pretty good joke. That's a good joke.
No.
Guess what?
We need jokes. See, everyone's going to need jokes to get through this show. And I have a lot of things. Will you add my backup and mute it?
Yes. Who is in? There's also. Oh, it's Jen. I see you, Jen. I'll get there. The way Jen gets my attention is she jumps in the box, so I see there's somebody, and then I go to Discord, and it's always just like something that says like "fuck you." That's what it always is. In this case, it's the gif of the lady with the umbrella that opens it up, and it's just a hand giving you the bird. Jen is a very sweet and thoughtful and kind human being who always knows just what to say to make you feel good.
Did you mute it?
Yeah, but it must have. Yeah, I did. I definitely did, but it must have been a TikTok glitch that unmuted it.
Okay. It's Friday. Thank God. Thank God. We made it together. We did it. Did you already tell everyone to tap the screen? Or were you just talking about Huba
No,
Stank?
I have like 17 minutes left in my Huba Stank story if I could finish that off.
We don't have any more time for Huba Stank because, well, we're always glad to have opposition. We always want opposition, but we really didn't get, we've probably had like full outlines this week we didn't get through. And I think there's some really important stuff like that I just want to cover and I want to show everyone. One is this video. Okay.
And I'm going to
So
do my best to stay out of the way as much as I
yeah,
can.
and don't worry. I know everyone's probably is wondering. Don't worry. I will force you to watch clips of the Trump rally in the Bronx, where
I
more people were protesting it than actually attending it.
What you guys are experiencing today is Felice just saying, I had a bad night and I had to watch this shit. And so now you guys are going to have to watch it too. That's what we're experiencing right now. It's Friday. all of the fucks that Felice had on Monday were like, I burned all those up by Wednesday. Thursday, she held on for dear life. And today she's here to punish us because we make her watch all these clips. So did I get that right?
I mean, not
It's
in all
close.
fairness,
It's
I would
close.
no, I would like to say I did all this morning.
You did.
This,
Yeah, but at like 2 this morning.
yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
That's true. But it was technically today.
My favorite part about
that's the only defense I have for that.
if I ever don't hear from Felice from like 4 o'clock till 10 o'clock at night, I know that I'm going to get a text at 2 a.m. And this is usually on Thursday. And she'll just be like, sorry, everything finally caught up to me. I fell asleep at 3 p.m. and I just woke up and it's 2. And she's like, so now I'm working at like 2 a.m. So that's what I wake up to. I don't think I've ever woke up and not had a message from Felice. Even if she goes to bed later than me, she's up earlier. I don't feel great about myself working with you, actually. It's really hurt my confidence.
But you have great Huba Stank stories, and we need that on the team, you know?
Yeah, everybody needs Huba Stank.
Everyone needs to have met the lead singer of Huba Stank. Like,
Yeah.
okay, this is actually, before we have to get into the stuff where you're gonna question your will to go on. First of all, let's tap the screen. Please keep tapping the screen throughout this. We do rely on your donations to keep our show going. We appreciate them greatly. If you do donate, please leave us a message or a dad joke, a question, comment, concern, whatever the case may be. And periodically throughout the show, we'll read them out as long as they will not get us banned. Oh, I just remembered something I was gonna say on yesterday's show and didn't say it. Bad Views told me a dad joke that's actually really funny.
I'm ready.
Okay, I'm gonna butcher it because I don't know if I. But
Is it
yes,
also a crypto
this
joke?
is a dad joke. He told me without telling me it was a joke, and he told me over text, so I didn't get it at all. But then once I finally realized like what he was saying, I was like, "This is hilarious." Okay, wait. Actually, give.
I'll just finish my Huba Stank story. So then we stayed there. We had a couple of beers. He was not drinking. Don't know if he wasn't drinking. And I looking back, I wish I would have known more Huba Stank songs to make more Huba Stank jokes. If you want, depending on how long Felice goes, we could just maybe listen to their album. If you guys wanted to do that, I'm guessing they have only one album. I remember actually the carpet person, the same person from the carpet person, she was a big Huba
Okay,
Stank fan.
I'm ready. This is hilarious.
I was almost done. 14 more minutes.
Do you say the carpet person? No, I'm cutting it off when you start talking about the carpet story.
Yeah.
The carpet person. Oh my god.
By the way, you slept through this, and I'm not trying to bring up anything, but yesterday I was helping out with a fundraiser in Jones's Live, and in Liv's Live, and they brought up our good friend Gorilla Radio, and he got.
Oh, I didn't see you up there. I saw him up there. Maybe it wasn't yesterday, actually. I probably was asleep. Might have been the day before.
Yeah, but he got really mad at one point, and he's like, "You had sex with a carpet." I was like, "Yeah, like I told everybody that story. What are you talking about?" But that's what he went to.
That's so funny.
I wish somebody would have clipped that.
Well, there you go. You guys keep tapping the screen. We appreciate it, and share the live.
Oh,
now
and
here's the joke.
Oh wait,
let me say it before I forget it.
Sorry.
Okay, here's the joke. Are glass caskets a thing of the future? Okay.
It's so stupid.
It remains to be seen.
I've heard this one.
Get it?
So
Remains to be seen.
That's amazing. And Felice just melted, and now Ad Views has her heart forever.
Yeah, that's hilarious. Come on, people.
Oof,
It remains to be seen.
Oof.
Get it? See, people like it. That's funny. When I hear a good dad joke, you got to acknowledge it.
I loved that, but I think it was my uncle that told me that joke. That's a great joke.
Yeah.
One more thing. My daughter, she always like comes in and she wants to talk on the camera. And so here's a little for anybody that was there. My daughter is allowed to swear if like at me or at my friends. And so if I'm ever on the phone with friends, she'll like there's a certain phrase she likes to use. So she's like, "Can I talk in the mic?" I was like, "No, no, 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 no. It's a live." She's like, "Are these your friends?" And I was like, "Yeah." And she's like, "Can I say the thing?" And I was like, "Yeah." I was like, "But the name is Gorilla." And she's like, "Okay." So she just came on as I left and she said, "Eat shit, Gorilla." And then we checked out. So somewhere there's a clip of my daughter telling Gorilla to eat shit.
She's so cute. So cute. Okay, so this first clip, you'll like this. Before we had to get into the painful experience that was the Trump rally in the Bronx,
It's 5 o'clock
this
somewhere, folks, if you need it.
this was actually from our sorry Thursday outline, and this is actually really good, like to use in debates, because you know how there's this line of logic like, well, Trump's only the worst jobs president because of the pandemic. Well, it's great to do some real research and like dig into that claim. This is pretty genius.
When Donald Trump ran for president
Oh,
back in
sorry, hold on.
2015, America. So when Donald Trump ran for president back in 2015, he made it pretty clear how he thought he'd perform as a job creator.
We're going to create jobs. I said that I will be the greatest jobs producer that God ever created. And I mean that. I'm going to work very hard on that.
But whenever you try to bring up the fact that Trump is only the second president ever to lose jobs during his term, conservatives and journalists alike cling to the excuse that a global pandemic was going on during his last year in office. So guess what we're going to do? To avoid that issue, we're going to make Donald Trump the first 3-year president in American history and pretend like his term ended at the beginning of 2020 instead of 2021. And to do this, I'm taking jobs numbers straight from the official source, the Bureau of Labor Statistics. So to start with, in Trump's first year, he created just over 2.1 million jobs. But then, just like the 3 Republican presidents before him, he passed a massive tax cut for corporations and the ultra-rich in the fall of 2017 that got 0 Democratic votes. But then he said this about the effect it would have on job creation.
See, you're going to see what happens. And ultimately, what does it mean? It means jobs, 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 jobs.
So how did it do? Well, in 2018, Trump created just under 2.3 million jobs. But in 2019, job creation dropped under 2 million for the first time in 9 years. And this brought Trump's 3-year total of job creation to 6,382,000, which might not sound too bad, except for the fact that in Barack Obama's last 3 years, without the so-called help of Trump's tax cut, he created more than 8 million jobs. So if you're keeping score at home, giving away trillions in tax cuts to already profitable corporations and the wealthiest families in the country got us 1.6 million less jobs than we had in the 3 years before Trump. Sounds bad, right? Well, just wait, because it only took 17 months for Joe Biden to recover all 9.2 million of Trump's pandemic job losses. And by MAGA's own standards, Biden only started creating new jobs in June of 2022. And since that time, in less than 2 years, he's created 6,494,000 jobs. So in less than 2 years, Biden has created 112,000 more new jobs than Donald Trump did in his first 3 years in what Republicans still like to call the best economy ever. But the worst part about it is that no journalist is willing to run these numbers themselves or point out that every Republican president since the Great Depression has had worse job growth than the Democratic presidents both before and after them. Are we to believe that this is a coincidence that's lasted a century? Or is one party determined to crash the economy over and over so the wealthy can continue to scoop up devalued assets and continue to decimate the working class in America?
So, and if you guys don't understand that, MAGA, you love conspiracy theories. This is a real one. Like, capitalism is a sine wave. It's boom, bust, boom, bust. And why? Because rich people with capital want the bust. That's when transfers of wealth happen. It's only the people with wealth that profit from the bust. We lose wealth, it's transferred to the capitalists, to the billionaires, to the donor class. That's what the sine wave is. The point is the bust for billionaires. Like, it's a misunderstanding of this is a real conspiracy.
Yeah, like you wonder how people like Warren Buffett can be like ahead of the trends all the time and always come out unscathed. It's because they have enough capital to make the booms and the busts, right? They know what they're doing. That's how they make this all work, and that's how they justify it. Well, everybody got rich too.
I will. This is on the Thursday outline. Hold on. I'm going myth, but Republicans like, oh, I found it. Okay. Jay, can I just send this to you and will you put it in the Discord? So,
Yeah.
is that okay?
Yep.
Yeah. So, because I think this is a great video to both memorize and use. Okay, I sent it to you. Okay, and I will move on from there. So many interesting things going on. We were going to show a TED Cruz. Maybe we'll see what we have time for. We're probably not going to have time to get all the interesting things I would like to talk about. I think it's important we go over the Trump rally in the Bronx. Let me pull up my outline and then we will.
This is how good our mods are. Before I just copy and pasted that and I went and posted it, and like Kim had already done it. So
Oh,
that's how
thank
good our
you.
mods are.
Kim's the best. I know, that's true. Why did I should have just said someone else do it besides us.
Just want to read a quick note from Michelle. Oh, maybe.
Do we have to? I know.
Will
so
you tell?
embarrassing though.
Will you tell the carpet story? No. And was it a nice one? Yeah, the carpet was a perfect gentleman. Thank you.
And that's real talk. Okay.
It's real talk. We're still friends to this day. I think about them often.
Again, I'll get into my actual proof of this, but this was like the smallest Trump rally. I mean, I don't know if actually I can't say if it's the smallest Trump rally of all time because I can't actually remember, but there's probably like the estimates of who was there are between like 800 and 3,000 people. And I know this, and I actually have the receipts at the end of the videos because and then I have the links to them in case anyone wants to use them for any reason in a video because he asked for a permit. The max permit for this rally that he had to get from the city and the park was for $3,500. So I don't want to hear it, MAGA. I already looked up the city permit.
Did you by chance see the video that was going around? I think it was ALX.
That's kind of like 100,000 people, isn't it?
It's similar. Did you see the video or the picture going around of Trump like surrounded by black people at a grill laughing? And this account, it has 1.2 million impressions already, ALX, and it's that AI thing where it can't do hands, so it's like an obvious AI generated image. And
how did you learn about the AI hands?
I think
I know what.
Yeah.
That's not what I meant. Different story for a different time.
Oh, fuck you! Oh, you're a bully. Now that you say that, though, now that I'll talk to you about that offline. Now that you say that, we need to discuss that. Anyways, yeah. So there's AI everywhere of this picture. It's had millions of impressions on Twitter, and they'll just believe anything. They'll just believe and retweet anything, and they're using an AI generated image to be like, CNN are cowards. They'll never post this. It's like, yeah, because they're journalists, like real ones. Like Fox will post it. Fox doesn't give a shit.
Amen. Okay, so let's just all remember to laugh so we don't cry. And for Kim and everyone doing that line, I'm starting at 35, like from the bottom up, as usual.
Our subways are squalid and unsafe. The ceiling tiles are falling down, and they look worse than a third world country.
What was that first
the
word?
medians of our
Can we hear
highways
that
are
first word
crumbling.
again?
Our sidewalk.
He by the way, Trump was like almost slurring his words. I mean, not that he doesn't always slur his words, but yeah. It's hard. I noticed that his words are very unclear.
Our subways are squalid and unsafe. The ceiling tiles are falling down, and they look worse than a third world
He's
country.
saying like squalid or something.
Yeah, like I watched a debate yesterday that I'm gonna send to you. And we can play it on Monday. But one of the things that's referenced in that debate is these actual doctors who are worried that like these types of things keep occurring for Trump, and it's apparently very obvious sign of
Yeah,
decline.
aphasia. Yeah,
Yeah, is that what it's called? I
yeah,
couldn't remember. Yeah.
it's dementia. Like it's funny because that's why. Listen, one time, and actually, I was listening to a clip of in 2016 when Trump, Cruz was winning. Ted Cruz, Raphael, Canadian-born Cruz was going at Trump in the primary, and it's Ted Cruz himself who points out what I always say. Like he is like a psychology textbook, projecting at everyone else what is happening with him, what he's himself is guilty of. It's Ted Cruz that says that. Trump is a literal psychology textbook. He's accusing Biden of dementia while showing the signs of it himself.
Our subways are squalid and unsafe. The ceiling tiles are falling down, and they look worse than a third world country. The medians of our highways are crumbling. Our sidewalks are littered with garbage, bottles, and trash. But worst of all, the discarded needles from people that so desperately are in need of help. And we have mobs of migrants fighting
Booing
our police
them? Are they
officers
booing
and giving
them?
America the middle finger.
Yeah. I don't know if they're booing him or just agreeing with him.
No,
I mean the people, the needles, the people,
Yeah,
the
they're booing
addicts,
those
those are the
people.
people Trump wants to put. Yeah, they're booing
Yeah.
addiction, like they're booing people who are helpless in the face of addiction. Remember, and Trump is the one himself who said death penalty, and
Right,
also
that's right.
he wants to round them up and put them in camps. So it's very ironic.
Well, also the other thing is Trump ran on this. He did this in 2016. Why is anybody buying this shit? He ran on everything's falling apart and I'm going to fix everything. I'm going to fix all the infrastructure. Did nothing. Meanwhile, Biden steps in and actually does infrastructure while creating jobs. Like he does both things. Like he spends and creates jobs, which is going to create future tax revenues. And yet here we are, these Trump people, they're just like, yeah, we don't care. We do not care what actually happened. We just believe that everything this guy says is going to come true, but it's reruns. We've heard it. Like this is going back to 2016 now. He ran out of like election interference stories. He's going back to 2016 now.
Yeah, well, that's what I'm saying. Like, it's funny you mentioned the dementia, because that's how I would describe this speech. It's like an old man, like, reminiscing about time. It has nothing to do with 2024. Like, he was just rambling, talking about people in the real estate business that nobody knows, like, just telling random stories. The crowd was like, what's going on?
but they're all paid to be there, so like shit, we gotta clap.
Well, yeah, and I put like I said, I put my proof of like crowd size and all that at the end. But yeah, what basically happened was there's a larger protest. Like you can hear the real rally that's going on because people in the Bronx, this area is largely this district is largely overseen by Representative Richie Torres. And this is like Hondurans, this is Africans. This is an immigrant district. So there's actually a crazy large protest, like people screaming like, let me in, to like get at Trump because they're so angry that he's in a predominantly immigrant district. That's the other thing. Besides just talking about random stories from like the 70s and 80s that no one understands what he's talking about. Yeah, this was largely him again screaming about immigrants. This is a immigrant district. So what happened was, I would say like probably there might be a couple thousand people there. And the funniest part is right when Trump started speaking, there was a mass exodus. Like while he's speaking, everybody was walking out. And I don't know if they like towards the other protest, which I also have a video of, but like I don't know why everyone, like half the people left when Trump started speaking. I could guess.
Get me the snake, please.
Oh my God. So Trump is yelling, "Get me the snake." I don't know if you have to understand. This is another dementia moment. Trump has a favorite poem. It's called The Snake. He regularly on stage will start screaming for a piece of paper with the poem on it so he could read it.
Give me
Like,
the snake.
but he's in the middle of a park on a hill. Like, how are they going to print out like a poem for him to read? No, and this is not the only time he yells this throughout the speech. Like, you'll hear it again. All he can think about is this poem and just keeps yelling, "Get me the snake," over and over again.
He's very deep. He loves poetry.
Yeah, very deep. Oh, this is okay, so here we go. Here's one of his random stories that no one knows what they mean.
Pulled all of the contractors together. These were tough people. These were tough, hard people. Many of you are probably contractors on that site. Come to that. And I said, look, fellas, you guys have made a fortune on this thing for years and years against the city. It's time we get together and build it. Let's get it built. Let's do it right. And let's get the hell out of here. We owe it to the city. And they worked so hard. The roughest, toughest contractors in New York. They had spirit like you've never seen before.
That he doesn't pay.
And it was magnificently designed by the great Jack Nicklaus, who told me, I don't want to make any more money. They paid me enough. Everybody get paid a fortune. Jack said, I don't want money. I just want to see it get built for the people of New York. And that's what we did. But everybody, just like Jack, they said very similar things. These guys were rough and tough, and they made a lot of money, but you'd think they'd want to make more, but they didn't. They just wanted to get it built. And in just a little more than a year, so this was going on for 30 years, including, think of it, just a magnificent thing to watch. You had to watch these people working, just the opposite of what took place for the first 29 years. But we had a magnificent world-class golf course that many of you have played now. And it's rated as one of the best public courses in the country. And then a short while later, we built a beautiful clubhouse, one of the prettiest I've seen, built it, completed. The project was absolutely beautiful.
Yeah, so he's whining about a public golf course that apparently was trying to be built for 29 years. And then Trump came along, and you know the story. He didn't pay a bunch of contractors.
Want to know the real story?
Yeah, I know, because it's bullshit.
It's a landfill. They built it over a landfill. Nobody wanted the land, and Trump purchased the land for this golf course. And post this, Jack Nicklaus and no other designer will ever work with him again. He can't get good designers like Jack Nicklaus to work with him ever again because he's such a pain in the ass. It's also not one of the top 100 courses in America. I've played that course. It's a good course, but it's in a terrible location. It's hard to get to, and it's not good enough that it's worth the drive. But yeah, that's what happened.
And Trump didn't pay a bunch of contractors again. I looked at it. True. But wanted to pay. Now he's out here saying, like, I wanted to pay him more, but they said no more. God, it just gets weirder.
I was very much responsible for the construction of the Jacob Javits Convention Center.
Here we
where
go.
Hillary Clinton was going to have her big evening.
So literally, I can't emphasize enough how he literally just spent the time like reminiscing about things he's built. Like this is in the Bronx. This is where Trump went to school. Like Trump's from Queens. He went to Fordham, which is in the Bronx. It's actually, I think it might be the oldest university in the country. Fordham's been around forever. And so Trump is, I think, feeling like just telling stories from from a long time ago.
I was very much responsible for the construction of the Jacob Javits Convention Center, where Hillary Clinton was going to have her big evening. That was not good. Remember? We had the glass ceiling. You know, we built glass ceiling. She said, we're going to break the glass ceiling. It didn't work out.
Something about jailing political opponents.
You know, I'll tell you,
I don't
I'm
remember.
sick of that. I don't think I've ever... I hated the concept. I said we have to get on with our country. We have to win against Russia. We have to win against China, North Korea, all the different countries we're at loggerheads with. But as long as you have a smart president, you're going to win those battles. We're winning all those battles, even with the fake Russia scam, which made it harder. But you hated that. And then you see what they want to do to us, to me, to us. and they come along and they don't mind because Joe Biden is the worst president in the history of our country, has no sense, doesn't know what he's doing, grossly incompetent, and our country is going to hell, but we're going to turn it around. We're going to turn it around fast.
I've never heard loggerheads used that way. I had to look it up. He used it correctly.
No, yeah, that's right.
I've never heard it used that way. Yeah. It's a big
Still talking about Hillary. This man has dementia. All he is talking about is things from the past. He's supposed to be talking about what he's going to do for people that's different than what he failed at last time. And none of that. Just let's talk about random stories that, again, are not true.
Can we also point out that if you gave anybody this transcript and said, what is he talking about? None of you would know. I would, like, we could probably pull it up. We should do this sometime. We'll invite a MAGA up and we'll just read a Trump transcript. And you have to tell us what the fuck he was talking about. Does anybody know what he was talking about right there? Like, specifically? No. It's crazy. Like, he really just, like, thinks in catchphrases. And he got so happy with the locker up. It was like reliving one of his greatest moments. He was
That's
like,
all
the
this
glory
is
days.
to him.
The
He's
glory
stuck in the
days.
past. He doesn't. That's all he wants is revenge. He has no intention of moving forward or helping the people of America. Just himself.
It's like
you
we
can't.
had
Yeah.
for 4 years. You know, we had 4 of the greatest years in the history of our country. We rebuilt the military. We cut taxes. The biggest tax cut in history. The biggest regulation cut in history.
Again, he added more to the national debt than any other, like, what is it? 25% of the national debt occurred under his presidency. You can't
Yeah.
cut taxes with and have no money coming in.
So this is how-
and you guys are allegedly conservatives, right? You should not want the budget to be unbalanced.
So let's say that spending is going up and you're going to need tax revenues to go up. But instead, Donald Trump said spending goes up and tax revenues go down. And that makes a bigger gap. I have to do visuals for, see this? This is the gap. Like, this is like a normal gap, and this is a Republican gap. You see that? And if you don't bring in enough money, you can't pay for all this stuff up here.
Yeah,
That's
and you
why
have
you
to
guys
know,
aren't
you have
fiscally
to
responsible.
listen with your ears. He admitted it in this clip. He said, "I rebuilt the military." Right? He gave the military industrial complex so much money. Right? He spent and spent and spent, and then in his genius, cut the revenue that was coming in.
Let's also talk about one other thing he did that we continue to do. When he campaigned in 2016, he was like, hey, all of our equipment's old and outdated. And so what did he do? The same thing Biden did. They sent it to Ukraine. They sent it to Israel. They sent it around the world. They sold it. And then they reinvested that money and put it into new military spending, which made jobs. Like, doing
Why
the
was
exact
everyone
same
okay
thing.
with that? You do understand, you guys, that that Trump also sent a bunch of equipment to Ukraine. And where were you guys with the America First? Where was that? You guys didn't care then.
And you won't care after. He'll do the same thing. He'll do it for other countries. You don't care. Everything I've learned that everything Republicans claim they care about, they don't. And I think that became pretty transparent yesterday when we were on that live, is that when you ask a Republican what they're upset about, none of what they say makes any sense that they'd be upset about, right? Like Joe Biden said something racist in 1970, and you're like, okay, but like your party, that's fine in your party. You can get away with that in your party. You don't care about that. If you cared about that, you wouldn't be voting for Republicans in the first place. It's everything they tell you that they're upset about is untrue. That really it is just a little white nationalisty.
Oh, for sure. And here's Trump again. I just think this is funny. Remember during his presidency when every day he talked about infrastructure week? Is infrastructure week's coming, and did it ever come? Did we ever do anything with infrastructure? We heard about it every week. Just 2 weeks. Here comes the roads and the bridges.
No, I'm pretty sure he sent that with his.
To fix our road.
Sorry.
No, I think he sent it with his taxes, but his tax returns, but he just got lost in the mail. It wasn't his fault.
It's never his fault.
He hired Louis DeJoy. It's not his fault.
Garbage. And it's never his fault. It's always someone else's fault.
That's not going to happen. We're going to do whatever it takes to fix our roads, bridges, and highways. We're going to take back our parks, not just for children, but for everybody. We're going to renovate New York's subway system so it no longer looks like it hasn't been cleaned since 1932, but rather it will be the most beautiful transit system anywhere in the world.
Pause that. All right,
It's done.
this is why this is bullshit. This is literally like junior high. I'm running for president. He couldn't rebuild that the public transit in New York if he wanted to. He doesn't have any say over that. Like unless he's just saying like if they ask for funding, I'll give them funding. He doesn't get to rebuild that. It's not his thing here. Like making promises for Donald Trump to make promises about New York as if New York is going to listen to a goddamn thing Donald Trump says is crazy. And the crowd's like, yay, we believe you. You're going to rebuild it. And they'll go out there to their friends and they're like, well, Trump says he's going to rebuild our subways. He's not. He already did this. He did it in 2016 and in 2020. I'm going to rebuild everything. He's not. If it doesn't make him money, he does not care about it.
Yeah, no infrastructure week ever happened. That's the first thing Biden did. And we continue, right? Boebert just this week again was taking credit for infrastructure projects being built in her district that she voted against. All the Republicans voted against the infrastructure bill and now take credit for it.
Just a comment from Doug here. 4 MAGA walking into a bar and order champagne. The bartender pours their toast and they say, hip, hip, hooray, only 54 days. Bartender says, what are you celebrating? What are you celebrating? Don said we belong to a puzzle club and we finished our last puzzle and only took us 54 days. The bartender said, is that good? Marjorie says, yes, the box said 2 to 3 years.
I'm sorry, I wasn't listening to the end. I'm sorry, I was thinking.
All right, let me try and get this. Don said, we belong to a puzzle club and we finished our last puzzle and it only took us 54 days. The bartender said, is that good? And Marjorie said, yes, the box says 2 to 3 years.
That's funny.
That's pretty good.
Marjorie. She would be the one saying that. Okay, here Sleepy Don is really still thinking about the snake poem.
Snake.
Do they have that?
Build the wall?
Well, they're yelling build the wall because this is about to get, things are about to get real racist. But Trump is saying, do they have that? Do they have that? Like he's asking for the stupid snake poem again. They're on a hill in the middle of the Bronx. I mean, I guess someone could write it down for him.
Paper airplane it to him. Somebody. Write it down, paper airplane it
Well,
up
I
there.
think he wants it printed out. It's like they didn't bring a printer with them onto a hill in the Bronx.
Well, where's homegirl with her wireless printer? Isn't that why she got it? Now she's fallen flat. This is her job. Her job is to keep Donald Trump
She's getting
occupied
paid
with papers.
6 figures to fluff Trump with poems and articles, and we're witnessing a fail. He really wants that snake poem. Okay, and now, like I said, now we get into the racist portion. Please keep in mind, like, this is very much the intent of this was to go into, like, the Bronx, especially this district. It's Richie Torres represents it. This is a predominantly immigrant district in the Bronx. So keep that in. And again, the largest rally going on during this time is a rally right off camera, which is a bunch of people that live in this district screaming at Trump to leave.
Yeah. It's not good when the counter protest is bigger than well, I don't know what you call this, a protest. Trump rallies are protests. Yeah, we can call it that.
We were going to put up within a period of 3 weeks. It was all built, laying there, ready to be put up, designed by the Border Patrol, who are incredible people, ICE, who are incredible people, all together. I wanted to put up concrete plank for the contractors here. They didn't want it. They had to have hardened steel. They wanted 6,000, 7,000 pound concrete. They wanted rebar in the middle. They wanted different materials, harder to cut. So we had very hard steel, very good stuff. Everything was good. We had the panel on top. It was called an anti-climb panel. We had the best wall. and it was going to be, we're going to add 200 miles of wall. It would have taken about 3 weeks. And then we had the rigged election. And you know what happened after the rigged election? They took the wall, and instead of putting it up, they sold it for 5 cents on the dollar.
So this is a weird mix of like multiple stories. None of them have much to do with him.
And I promise the border patrol are not structural engineers nor architects, and no, and have nothing to do with the design of his stupid wall that he never put up. Do you remember the Trump rally where he said that like he had it all waiting to go up and they hid it? They came and they hid the wall.
Yeah. Well, that's the thing about walls. They're notoriously shy, and they tend to hide. But this story is about, I'm pretty sure the story he's talking about is that some of the states, including Arizona, decided like, fuck it, we're just going to build a wall. And they were shot down in court because you can't do that as a state. You don't have a right to go on federal land and build a wall. And then they wound up having to just sell those materials because they decided to get all the materials before it was decided in court. They're just like, we're just going to do this and it's going to work, because that's how it works in MAGAville. Like, they just tell you something, you're like, oh, this is constitutional, and everybody believes it and they go. And then they act so shocked when the courts are like, yeah, you just can't build your own border wall. What are you talking about? Of course you can't do that.
Well, Doug Ducey, so and just to be clear who that is, that's the former governor of Arizona. And he did build a wall, like more than Trump ever did, right? But the problem is he used like shipping containers and things like that and just put all this like random material out there. What happened in Arizona, in the case of Doug Ducey, people started inhabiting the shipping containers. They were just living in them, immigrants. And then it became so dangerous, like the makeshift material wall, that we were spending more tax dollars helping triage people, I'm not kidding around, who were injured coming over the wall, like were bleeding and stuff, and we were paying for that. We are paying for the injuries being caused by this wall, and that was a large part of why it had to be taken down, because number one, people were living in it, and number two, we were paying for injuries from the wall that cost more, and it wasn't keeping anyone out.
And this court ruling was in 2022. So I know some of the MAGAs in here were upset. You're like, that was Texas. And I know this is confusing, but Republicans are stupid in every state. And so it wasn't just Texas where they did something stupid. Republicans in Arizona are also stupid. And so that's why it also happened here. But I understand why you were confused by that. It seems like they would have learned their lesson the first time. They didn't. Texas was like, fuck it, we're just going to do it again. And it didn't work out.
They really can't vote out Abbott. I mean, they could. The problem with Abbott is there's no term limit, and that state is gerrymandered within an inch of and when I say gerrymandered, I mean, you're like, how can you gerrymander a governor's race? The goal is to make it so there's no polling locations, like near universities, near minority districts, like this. I mean, it's a struggle in Texas to get Greg Abbott out of there. Like, it really, really is.
In Texas, the gerrymandering is literally just a guy named Jerry with a big hat, and he chooses the districts. I'm pretty sure that's correct.
Jesus Christ.
I think I saw that on Snopes.
It's a 10-gallon hat.
10-gallon. What did I say?
No, you just said a hat,
yeah.
but I was picturing what type of hat, and I was like,
for sure a bolo tie. For sure a bolo tie.
And here again is one of Donald Trump's favorite lies.
African American jobs were the best in history. Asian American, the best in history. Hispanic, the best in history. Women, people with...
And this is funny because I can't even watch it because I don't know. I mean, I would play it, but I get so enraged listening to Byron Donalds speak because he's a liar that I don't think we will play it. But he was on Abby Phillip last night, and he's a representative in the House. He's on the Free Dumb Caucus. He is an African American man who is Rick Scott We talk the largest Medicare, the CEO during the time of the largest Medicare fraud in history. Rick Scott's now the richest man in Congress off the back of the largest Medicare fraud in history.
Thanks, old
Now,
folks.
former governor of Florida, he paid for Byron Donalds' come up, right? Now, and also, again, African American unemployment, the lowest numbers very much were in 2022 under Joe Biden. Like everyone knows it. Trump continues to lie about it. Abby Phillip called Byron, she's African American, on her show last night. She called Byron Donald out. Was like, why are you doing this? Like, why are you lying for him? If you've ever seen an interview with Byron Donald, what's so frustrating about him is, again, he is a Rick Scott sycophant. Like Rick Scott paid for him, helped him get his record expunged. Yes, Byron Donald, what's so frustrating, and one of the things Abby Phillip called him out for, not only like lying for Trump about African American jobs, but they are pursuing something so that basically 18-year-olds in DC, they were being given diversion programs, like first-time offenders, like we're not going to throw the book at you. One of the Republicans' favorite things is kicking around the District of Columbia, right? Like just changing laws, trying to force them to do things. And one of them is this: they want to get rid of diversion programs. Byron Donalds, mind you, one of the biggest African American Trump sycophants, when he was 18 years old, benefited from a diversion program. He was arrested for intent to distribute and benefited at 18 years old for a diversion program, and now is actively lobbying for no more diversion for 18-year-olds in DC.
See, and this is what Republicans do all the time, right? They will legislate in ways that are racist, and then they'll do something like this. They'll get a record expunged. They'll issue a pardon to somebody who had a criminal record who just so happens to align with them politically, and they'll be like, see, nothing to see over here. We're not racist. That's exactly what this is. Donald Trump is saying that you should have mandatory minimums for possession, and I think his was possession with intent to distribute. Is that right? Yeah, mandatory minimums on those of 30 years. That's what Donald Trump supports.
Byron Donald pled guilty to possession with intent to distribute, and is now trying to ruin 18-year-olds' lives. Also, marijuana, right? They're changing the schedule level of the controlled substance level of marijuana. It's about to be legalized. Byron Donald was acting like people should, literally saying, yes, people should be in jail for 30 years. I mean, it's terrifying. And listen, Abby Phillip didn't bring it up, but I'm more petty than she is. And I know a lot about Byron Donalds. The one thing you'll never hear anyone say about Byron Donalds is that he's a felon. You think the only thing Byron Donalds ever did wrong was intent to distribute? Nope. Rick Scott helped him get his record expunged. This is a man who lied on SEC securities licenses. He was involved in financial crimes. Like this, and if you ask me, he's like, it's expunged. I don't have to mention it. I don't have to mention it. Like, I know about it. Like, and I'm not saying, I actually am 100%. I believe people should get second chances. I think Byron Donalds has turned his life around, and that's fine. But when you are actively lobbying that no one else should get a second chance, when you have an expunged felony on top of a marijuana charge for intent to distribute, come on. Come the F on. Like, when does the hypocrisy end? And Drew, you said that was true when Donald Trump was president. Yeah, it was, but it's 2024, Drew. So when you continue to say that I had the best African-American jobs numbers, and that's not true, that Joe Biden does, that's a lie.
There you go, Drew.
But you can get in your time machine, Drew, and you can go back to Donald Trump's presidency, and you can live there. The rest of us live in reality.
Hold on one second. All right, let me bring that up. There's some opposition for you. Let me check comments. Fly, Ravens, fly. I think that's what it is, isn't it? Good morning. Good morning, Ravens 25 fan. It's nice to be in your pocket. All right.
Ty's in the comments saying we need Project 2025.
Yeah, that's not surprising. All right. Well, good try there. Yeah, so we are taking
White
opposition.
nationalist ties here.
Yeah. Sarah, are you opposition? I saw you there in the box. Just respond if you are, and then we'll bring you up if you're opposition. If not, just wait till the end. The last hour of the show today, we'll take friendlies. All right, I got you, Sarah. Hey, Sarah.
I'm gonna go to the bathroom really quick.
Hello?
Hey, Sarah. Hey.
Hello?
Hello.
Are you guys anti-Trump or anti-Biden?
There's a bunch of stats. Oh,
Hello? Hello?
yeah, that's better.
Are you guys anti-Trump or anti-Biden?
What's going on with your sound?
Give me.
Oof. Ouchies. All right, try again, Sarah. Every time you speak, there is a sound that sounds like this. And it sucks. I didn't like it.
Drew said she's on CB. She's on a CB
She's
radio.
on a CB over and out. Professional, I think I can't remember. Professional, were you up? We talked to you, I think, the other day. I'm pretty sure. If you're not, Jen will just kick you like immediately, so we can take care of that. Do you need to go, Felice?
I have the picture of the guy from The Professional. I love that movie.
Hey, what's up? Yeah, guys, Biden said the poll numbers are wrong. Aside from your gaslighting, the rallies are huge. You know how Donald Trump says it? He kind of says, huge. It's going to be huge. It's huge. Guess what?
Okay,
it
well,
is?
I looked up the city permit and the New York Post reported on it, and the maximum number of people allowed in that park yesterday for the Trump rally was 3,500.
Maxed out, baby. What about the other ones?
It was not, but go on.
How does that account for the numbers that Donald Trump reports?
Well, I
How
mean,
come it doesn't bother you that he like in New Jersey there was like 15,000 people. He said it was 100,000. Why doesn't that bother you?
It doesn't bother me because when you max out, you max out.
But, all right.
What? Just more
stupid.
gaslighting. Just gaslighting. The rallies are huge. They're maxed out.
Okay.
The polls are right, and you're gonna lose, bud.
All right.
Lose.
All right.
Lose. You lose. All
Anything
right.
else?
That's it.
Well, you did great. You did really well. I think you maxed out on the words you knew. Just like gave up. Just gave up on that one. That wasn't even very good trolling. That was okay trolling, actually. I take it back. That was actually decent trolling. It's better than most. Well, Felice isn't here. You guys want to talk Huba Stank? I could just play some. If we use the karaoke versions, I think we can get away with it. I'm pretty sure. You guys want to just listen to Huba Stank for a while? No on the Huba Stank. Sarah, if you're still there, Sarah, you can come up. Guys, can I come? Hazel, no, we're doing opposition at the end, Hazel, or I mean, friendlies at the end. So you're welcome to come up at the end. Oh, hey, Mama Bear, where is Jesus today? I haven't seen Jesus Christ today. And I just feel like I don't feel like we are. I think we're 50-50 split on whether or not we should listen to Huba. Oh, shit, she's back. Never mind.
What happened?
I was trying to.
What'd you do with him?
Oh, he just glitched out. He just ran out of stuff to say, and then he just left. So I don't know.
Here, I'm gonna request. Will you mute me?
Way ahead of me. Got it. Yeah, he maxed out on words. I think by the way, it's also whoever that is. The cadence sounded like Snuggles, and the material. The cadence and the material was very Snuggles-ish, but the voice was less annoying. So I don't know if that's him doing an impression or somebody maybe he has a fan. I don't know what that was, but it just sounded like talking to Snuggles, where he just like tries to trigger you.
Repeats
but
the
he's-
same stuff, refuses
Yeah.
to listen, and
I'm
has no
winning.
facts.
Trump's winning. Yeah, just
no,
like
well, Snuggles has fans. You know what I mean?
yeah, no, I get it. Probably the same fans that watch the like Teletubbies and. Probably the same ones.
Okay, let's see here.
They think his eyebrows are caterpillars, and they're like, "Oh, it's a nature show."
Oh God, here we go.
First president in 78 years that didn't start a war. We had no wars. None of these stupid wars. Such a shame.
How dare he call our wars stupid?
This man's such a liar. Like it's just unreal. Or you have a fundamental misunderstanding of how the military industrial complex works, or foreign military positions. Like, we are in forever wars. That's how we fuel our economy, is with forever wars. Every U.S. president is at war all the time, and not even because for a just cause. I mean, unless keeping prices low domestically is a just cause, then yeah, there you go.
You know what's so transparent about Trump, though, that drives me nuts, that nobody in MAGA seems to care about or see, is that he didn't come up with that, right? He wasn't as president be like, no wars. He just found out it was popular to say that. He just found out that people were using that to go after Biden, and now he started saying it. Nothing he says at this point is original. Like, all of his original ideas he covered in 2016. He hasn't had an original idea since then. It's just been reruns, and whatever works on social media, he gets up here and pretends like that was his position all along, when it was never his position. It's just like a convenient position for him to be in right now. He was always talking about yeah, if those countries ever say anything to me, I'll nuke their ass. Like, hurricanes, fuck you, you're getting nuked. Like, this
Well,
is not
I think I have it at the end, and I'll play it. But he very much wasn't anti-war. Like, when George W. Bush was president, he says it in this speech, and I'll play it at the end. Like, he says what he said. He said, I said don't go into Iraq, but if we do go into Iraq, we should steal all the oil.
Yeah.
And he's like, and we didn't steal the oil, and look what it's worth now. Like, Trump literally, his thing is we should have stolen everything from Iraqis, but instead we set up we filled the power vacuum and allowed them to maintain their own natural resources, and Trump is angry about it.
Yeah, Gaza, I'm so anti-war that my suggestion is finish the job. Just blow everything up. That's how
actively
anti-war.
Lobbying for a genocide and to silence opposition protests. This man is a liar.
He's very, very anti-war.
I'm OD'd on Trump. I turn on the television. Trump. All different stories. Trump.
because he turns on OAN and Newsmax.
I put that in because that's the first time I agree with Trump. That is literally the first thing Trump has said that I'm like, yeah, I agree with you.
Let's just point out the MAGA responses. I'm so sick of people talking about Trump, and everybody goes, Trump. It's like, he just said he was annoyed. Why are
They're
you doing it?
programmed robots. They don't
guys not
even
listening?
realize how ironic this entire thing truly is.
Bunch of morons.
Oh, this is good. Oh my God, you guys are gonna love this. Just watch this and then I'll explain.
Water.
Water. Playing the hits.
Okay, so I know
cult.
you're thinking,
That's a
why
cult,
would
guys.
you do that? Like, what is the point of this? Well, there's a big point, and we're all going to take a walk down memory lane to see how hypocritical Trump is. Remember, Trump desperately needed water, and I'll tell you why in a second. But yeah, it's pathetic. Remember, it's Trump who let us know way back when, years ago, how pathetic it is to need a drink of water. Does anyone remember what I'm talking about? How Trump basically mocked someone for needing a drink of water, and now he does. Remember this? This is Lil Marco. This is Lil Marco. Does anyone remember? This is his response to the State of the Union, and let's take a walk down memory lane and remember what Lil Marco did years ago during his response to the State of the Union.
On foreign policy, America continues to be indispensable to the goal of global liberty, property, and safeguarding human rights. The world is a better place when America is the strongest nation on earth. But we can't remain powerful if we don't have an economy that can afford it. In the short time that I've been here in Washington, nothing has frustrated me more than false choices like the one the president laid out tonight. The choice isn't just between big government or big business. What we need is an accountable, efficient, and effective government that allows small and new businesses to create more middle-class jobs.
Okay, so remember during the response to the State of the Union, you could kind of hear like Marco Rubio's mouth was really dry. He quickly took a drink of water. Now let's all remember what Donald Trump said, because I've seen every Trump rally. I certainly remember Donald Trump relentlessly mocking Marco Rubio for taking a drink of water.
Felice, I also
Do you guys remember?
I also sent you a clip to your text that just another Trump water clip that I think you should try and fit in here. But Trump's got a thing with water. There's something with water.
Texas holds its primary on Super Tuesday. Right now, the most recent polls show Ted Cruz in the lead over Donald Trump in Texas. And that may be one reason why you're seeing him fired up in Fort Worth. But he's also fired up because one of his opponents has taken the gloves off, and the fight's getting down and dirty. Marco Rubio went after Donald Trump hard last night in the GOP debate and continued the assault this morning on CBS this morning, as well as out on the campaign trail. And Donald Trump is not taking that sitting down. In fact, he took aim at Marco Rubio for being the Republican response to the president's State of the Union address years ago and for needing a drink of water while he was giving that address. Let me play Donald Trump's response to it.
It's Rubio!
He's throwing water.
And then drinking it.
That's what it... Unbelievable.
That's dumb mocking Marco Rubio for taking a quick sip of water. This man desperately needs water.
I do think it's fair to make fun of Marco Rubio for the way that he tried to like hide it in clear, like the way he discarded the water at the end. I did think that was.
He didn't throw it though.
For that, no, but the way he did it, he was like, it was like he was trying to hide it. Like, dude, we saw you drink the water. It's fine. Just set it back down.
Afford it. In the short time that I've been here in Washington, nothing has frustrated me more than false choices like the one the president laid out tonight.
Like, he keeps his feet in the same place.
The choice isn't just between big government or big business.
Why did he do that?
No, but you're not allowed. That's not the point. The point is that you're not allowed to take a drink of water.
Let me make fun of Marco Rubio for a second. I know it's not the point. What he's doing is still weird. Why didn't he move his feet? Why didn't he just operate like a human? This is why he couldn't be president, because he does. That's weird. People don't like that.
Now, what's most important to know, and I think I have another clip at the end to show this, but what Trump is actually doing is he's seeing somebody pass out from heat stroke in the crowd. And if you locate a bottle of water, would you not give it to the person in the crowd? No, what Trump actually did was see somebody dying of heat stroke in the crowd and be like, I need water, and get himself a drink of water rather than give it to someone else, which I have a longer clip of that at the end because it's just so cruel to literally be like, no, this guy is having heat stroke. I need a drink of water for myself.
That reminds me, I'm a little parched. Thank you for the reminder, sir. I appreciate that.
There's a person dying of heat stroke in the crowd, and Trump's like, oh, that's a reminder to me to take a drink of my refreshment.
Why does he put his pinky up like he's like drinking tea? What is? He went to what? What were those classes you
By
went
the
where
way,
you had to
just
learn
look how
manners?
Trump used to look. In case you guys forgot, he looks like he. Yeah, never mind.
Etiquette classes, I guess. Yeah, I thought there was a different. What was it like? If you could be like a debutante, isn't that what that was? You'd go learn those all those rules.
Debutante ball? Yeah, I mean that's the thing. I did. Yeah. So this is another rambling, weird story about a businessman from the 80s or 90s. I'm guessing maybe 70s that Trump knows that no one else knows. The crowd was like so confused during these moments. They're like, "What?"
I love the ads that are played. The epicminerals.net, zeolite detox. Yeah, epicminerals.net, folks, for all your epic minerals needs. Don't have regular minerals, have epic minerals. epicminerals.net.
Little more, and he ended up buying it for an okay price. And he was so happy, he said, now I can go back to work. And he went back, and everything he touched turned bad. The market turned on him. The jobs turned on him. He was no longer able to get zoning. He was spending a fortune. He had just purchased it for a lot of money. And he ended up going bankrupt. He was bankrupt. And I was young when I met him. And I was at the party of a very big person, big public company person. And Bill Levitt was there. And I was in the real estate business, so I knew who he was. And you probably indirectly know who. And everybody was shunning him a little bit. Nobody cared about him anymore. But I did. And I went over to him and I say, hi, Mr. Levitt, I'm Donald Trump. I know it. I was doing great. I was sort of like a hot guy. I was hot as a pistol.
So old grandpa is telling us a weird ass story from the 80s about when he still mattered in New York. My, how times have changed.
I was having my hot boy summer, and I told him, I care about you, sir, and I'm having a hot boy summer.
But people were not having that. Everyone was very quiet and confused. He kept going back to these weird stories. So, you know, naturally, to get the crowd back in it, we turned to racism. At authoritarianism.
Sorry, I lost you. Let me say something racist.
Yeah, well, outside of like the random ramblings of like, you know, just, hey, when I used to go to school by here. Well, outside of that stuff, I would say the themes were authoritarianism and racism. And the thing about the authoritarianism, MAGA doesn't know anything about history or anything, but I remember, I can't even remember, I saw 60 Minutes, I remember years and years ago, I think George W. Bush was like president, or maybe it was Obama. It's when like Viktor Orban was coming up. And he, like, all of this rhetoric about the largest mass deportation, like, this was all from Viktor Orban, the Hungarian authoritarian dictator. He cast everyone out of Hungary. And that's where Trump is getting all this stuff. So if you ever thought, like, Trump invented all this on his own, of course not.
Numbers of people are coming in from China. And if you look at these people,
oh my God. I forgot. This is important to say. Like, I mean, it was Dale. I believe it was Dale, or he's changed his name to David. So we'll call him whatever you want. I know him as Dale. But he said, remember when he was on our show last, and he said, well, I said that there was a large wave of anti-Asian, anti-Chinese sentiment that rose up in our country during the pandemic, and Trump had spurred that on, right? And Dale's response was, well, you know who that was, wasn't it? The people that hated the Chinese. And I said, who? And he said, African Americans.
I forgot about that.
He said his response was African Americans. Well, this is just some more anti-Asian sentiment. This is one of the more disturbing things. Listen for the military age male thing.
Ooh,
talking about Chinese immigrants. This is so scary.
Numbers of people are coming in from China. And if you look at these people, did you see them? They are physically fit. They're 19 to 25. Almost everyone is a male.
They're so hot.
Look like fighting age. I think they're building an army. They had 29,000 people.
I want to fuck all of them.
I think they want to get us from within. I think they're building an army. This is not, you know, it's interesting. Did you see them? They all have tents. They all have gas-fired stoves. I mean, this is
they're
not
so
like
hot.
an illegal immigrant. They're building something. They have something in mind. We're going to end all of that stuff. They respected your president. They respected our country.
So stupid.
It's also very
so
racist.
stupid.
Like, just as a minority, this is not funny. Like, I remember the wave of anti-Asian sentiment that rose up. People were being attacked. People were being ostracized, not allowed in businesses. And this continues. Like, it's not just brown people either. Like, he's also doing this to Asian Americans. And it's important to remember.
He's also so discombobulated that nobody really can figure out what the fuck he's saying. Like, everybody in the crowd, like, there's like 4 people clapping who just clap at everything. Even they can't figure out what's going on here.
Oh, they like it.
Well, they like it, but they still don't know what's going on, though. They just know that there was some racism in there, and that rings true. And so they're like, I recognize this feeling now. This is the feeling of me being racist, so they like that, but nobody knows what he's saying.
Yeah, when he's talking about gas stoves, yeah, he's talking about those little camping stoves that people are using to survive at the border.
But he may not know that.
They cannot stay. We will immediately begin the largest criminal deportation operation in our country's history because this situation is sustainable by no country. No country can sustain this. As we speak, there are hundreds of thousands of Biden migrants invading our city and our country. We no longer have border states like Texas and Arizona. All states, including New York, are your border state. The people are pouring through Texas. They're pouring through Arizona. They're pouring through every state. Every state is now a border state. Every state is now, we're talking about, in my opinion, 16 to 17 million people. And these are not necessarily people that are going to help us as a country. We want to be nice. We want to be respectful. They're coming from so many places. We don't have any idea. In many cases, we don't even know what the language. You know, you have languages that people don't even know about. We have.
Yeah, people do all linguistically. Yes, we do know
Yeah.
of all the languages on Earth. Just Trump's an idiot. But I mean, so many lies, so many racist lies told there. It's unbelievable. People are not pouring through Arizona. Like, we live here. That's complete bullshit. I can't count the number of lies that I just heard, but this is truly, truly disturbing.
The Republican rhetoric around this honestly does not make any sense. They say we can't sustain this, but then they also say unemployment is a problem, and they usually like tie that with nobody can hire. Like, we can't hire anybody. Like, unemployment is low because we desperately need workers. Like, not only can we sustain this, we can't bear to not sustain this, right? We have to replace workers here. We have to do it.
A big part of the you might not like the truth, but the truth is a big part of the bounce back, like from the pandemic, has been immigration, has been immigrant workers. When we say make America great again, whatever you're probably referring to it's immigration. Immigration is what made America great. Quite literally. If we think of it like an arms race, immigration is a worldwide arms race. If we don't take these people who are talented, who can supplement our economy, they go to China, they go to Russia, they go to European countries, they go somewhere else. Immigration is an arms race. America is great because of immigration. Another lie, he said, the largest criminal deportation. Well, these people, asylum seekers aren't criminals. They're here legally.
Right. And even if Donald Trump was able to do this, let's say he wins, he's able to do this. The reason you guys have not been on board with securing our border currently is because it's too expensive, and you don't need a bill from Congress. You just need an executive order. How much do you think it would cost to track down undocumented immigrants. Do you know the resources that it would take to track down undocumented immigrants? It would be 10 times the size of the bill that we offered for the border right now. Like, we could do this. We could solve the problem we're having at the border. We could speed up these asylum claims. There's a lot we could do if we were willing to spend money. But you can't be the party saying we're not going to spend money on this and then say, but once we're in power, we're going to do the most expensive possible thing. And why are we okay with that and not the border stuff? Because ours is cruel, right? We get to round people up. We get to deport them. We get to get our revenge on them for having the audacity to show up in America. Like, your guys' line of logic doesn't make any fucking sense. And it doesn't make any fucking sense because you guys don't actually have a line of logic. You just do what this guy says. And not even do what he says, because he says a lot of things. You just defend what he says. You have no idea what's going on. You don't know what his policies are. You don't know what his plans are. You don't know anything about what's going on. Your entire existence is just to defend him. So he does these rallies. We play the clip. It's insane. And you're sitting there in the comments going, God damn it, how am I going to defend this? How am I going to make this not look so bad? And again, but you don't know anything that's going on. You have no, someone come explain to me how you're going to get a deportation of this size. How are you going to do this? How are you going to find people? How are you going to house them? How are you going to deport them? How are you going to do that without spending hundreds of billions of dollars?
Yeah, you can't afford to do it. There's a great I believe it's either Washington Post or New York Times, but my instincts say it's Washington Post they do great fact checking analyses, and they literally quantified like the amount of money it would take. Like, Trump already added 25% to the national debt. We are talking about like doubling the national debt in order to find these people and deport them. But that never occurs to you. The impossibility, the expense, the logistical nightmare, the supply chain issues it would take to do that it's literally impossible because you'd have to think. And just the other lie, like, the estimates of undocumented immigrants in this country is 10 to 11 million. He said 16 to 17. Now, if you want to count people here legally awaiting the asylum process, then it could be 12 to 13. Like that, those are the real numbers from people that speak in front of Congress, actual border experts.
I'm going to run to the bathroom real fast.
Okay. Oh, God. Okay, and just to clarify, he's talking about migrant women.
Women are treated horribly. They're being raped at levels that nobody's ever seen before. Nobody wants to talk about it. The fake news will report that, oh, it's so terrible what he said. But it's fact. It's fact.
Yeah, you know when that was happening and that was really an issue? It's an issue because of traffickers, right? Like that's what the issue was. And that's what was happening during Remain in Mexico, when cartels, when you were forcing people not from Mexico, not from, please understand, not that have a home in Mexico, people who came to our southern border from other countries, and that we just pushed them back into Mexico and said, here's your asylum court date, you wait here. Do you think the women survived that? No, they did not. That was Trump. Again, this is like literally Ted Cruz said in 2016. He's a psychology textbook. He literally projects the things he is guilty of onto other people.
President Xi of China, Putin, Viktor Orban, did you ever hear of him? Prime Minister of Hungary, very tough guy, known as a strong man. Oh, they hate it when I talk about him because they say he's a strong man. Trump loves strong men. I don't know. I like weak men, actually. I like weak men. I'd much rather have a weak man than a strong man. But he is a strong man. And they asked him, why is it that the whole world is blowing up? He said, one simple reason: Trump is not president in the United States. He said, you put Trump back as president and the whole world is going to get better, because they were afraid of Trump. They couldn't figure Trump out. Trump was a rather difficult person, but he used the word afraid. I don't use it. I don't use the phrase. I use the word respect. They respected your president.
So again, this is him talking about an authoritarian dictator who, again, all this mass deportation stuff he stole from Viktor Orban during Viktor Orban's rise to power. Like that's where he got it, and he's quoting. You heard him say Xi. You heard him say Kim Jong Un. These are the people that he idolizes and wants to turn America into the largest authoritarian dictatorship ever seen.
There was a glimpse of truth there. Like he accidentally realized what he said and tried to fix it, right? He's like, there will be peace because Donald Trump is unpredictable and scary. We're scared of him because he's so unpredictable. And then he's like, shit, but they meant respect. That's what they really meant. When they say unpredictable and scary, they mean respect. Of course, unpredictable and scary are synonyms for respect. No, they're calling you, like, if this story's true, they're calling you a maniac. Like, they're like, this guy's so fucking crazy that we're afraid to do anything. And Republicans like, that's what we need. That's what we need. We need somebody who we never know when they're going to push that nuclear button. We need that to be unpredictable. The very things that Hillary Clinton was like, hey, this is why he can't be in the White House, he's now campaigning on. I just want to be clear. He's campaigning on, hey, I'm a psycho, so watch out, world. And Republicans like, yes.
But again, remember, if he was truly a president that people feared, why would authoritarians want him elected? Like, forget, you guys never read the Mueller report and know nothing about it, so we don't need to talk about that. But we can talk about the bipartisan Senate Judiciary report that came out in 2020 that confirmed Russian interference to get Donald Trump elected.
Yeah, if we learned anything,
Republicans were part of that too. And you can read that 1,000-page report anytime you want. If Donald Trump was so scary, if he wasn't just like what they call a happy accident, something that's actually beneficial for authoritarian leaders. In fact, he wants to ally with them and turn this country into an authoritarian dictatorship. That's why they want him. He's their little lackey.
Well, and that's the thing. Like, if we've learned anything from World War I and World War II, like, it was the dictators, it was the fascists that, like, kind of came together and they were like, hey, we'll gang up, like, they're coming after us, so we'll all team up, and as soon as this is over, we're gonna go to war again. Like, Germany and Russia, World War I, two fascists working together, and then World War II's Germany versus Russia, right? Then you have Mussolini, who's just like, hey, I'm a fascist too, but oh shit, people don't like fascism, so I'll align with Germany as well until the allies come in and take, like, the southern part of our country. Then I'm just gonna flip sides. Like, these people see Donald Trump as an open checkbook, a dummy, somebody that they, like, with resources that they feel they can manipulate. They feel they can get the one over. Fascists don't try and surround themselves with people that are smarter than them. They have to be the smartest person in the room, or at least feel like they are. And these fascists are so confident in themselves when Donald Trump is in the room because he's such an obvious dummy, just the most obvious dummy, but you guys can't see it. There's no other reason a fascist would like our leader unless they thought, yeah, we can take advantage of that.
And there's a Trump supporter in the comments saying he wants NATO to pay their fair share. Again, this is a uninformed, idiotic thing to say, right? You don't understand how NATO pays their bills, right? NATO, no countries in NATO pay us. That's just something Donald Trump made you think. The only agreement in NATO countries is that 2% of your gross domestic product you reinvest in your own military. That is the agreement of NATO. They don't pay us money. Now think about it. You have to use your brain and you have to think and you have to follow me here. America is the #1 gross domestic product in the world. So we would pay 2% of the largest gross domestic product in the world is larger than 2% of a smaller gross domestic product in the world.
I've got a question for you, Felice. When most of these countries, when they reinvest in their military, if it's not people and they're reinvesting it in equipment or artillery or weaponry, where do they largely buy that from?
the United States because we are also the largest arms dealers in the world.
So
So
would
actually, all that money is going to us, our
s-
weapons manufacturers.
and who would this didn't come up before. This it never Trump's kind of the guy that brought it up. Who might have an incentive, some Trump donors that might have an incentive to, I don't know, force people to pay more of their GDP to money that ultimately comes back in their pockets? Could that be maybe our military contractors?
It's definitely possible that the
Oh,
industrial military complex would want a bigger percentage of that than 2%, which ultimately just goes back to United States weapons manufacturers.
interesting how that works out, isn't it? That his biggest donors are the ones that are trying to get more money into their pockets. That's how this works. Here's what I'd like. I'd like everybody in the UN to pay less. I would like less intervention. If you guys were actually anti-war, like you say you are, you wouldn't be pushing for all this stuff. You'd be pushing for people to pull back. You'd be pushing for peace, but you're not. None of you are anti-war. That's bullshit. Everybody knows it. The second you guys have an opportunity to agree with going and bombing a country full of brown people, you will be on board. You will be the first ones to volunteer to go, and you'll call all of us cowards for not wanting to go and fight a racist war. But you'll be like, yay, finally, my racism can be put into action.
Okay, and now here's the portion, which this again is something MAGA doesn't understand because they don't know the definition of words, right? This
Fair
is
enough.
where Trump says the word indemnify, and none of you know what that means. And do you bother to look it up? No, you do not. So let's listen to the clip. If anyone in MAGA wants to come up and explain what indemnify means, you're more than welcome to.
I'm going to indemnify all police officers and law enforcement officials throughout the United States to protect them from being destroyed by the radical left for taking strong actions on crime. And remember, Black, Hispanic, Asian people need this protection and safety more than anyone else. Don't ever forget it. And after years of talk by the radical left Democrats, we are going to give them the protection they need, and we're going to protect our police. We're going to make sure they do a great job. They can do it very quickly. They know who the bad guys are. They know everything about them. They know their name.
Do you understand what he's saying? You would have to know what indemnify means to get it. And how insulting it is that he referenced African American. He basically referenced minority groups who are being disproportionately policed, right? Who are being killed by police. Indemnify means that you're above the law, that every police officer in this country is now above the law. You cannot hold them accountable. Like Mr. Sfortson in Florida, the man who was in his own apartment, 23 years old, Air Force, no criminal record, done everything right in his life, was sitting in his own apartment on FaceTime, and police responding to a noise complaint in the wrong apartment killed him, unloaded a clip in him.
And what's interesting
And
is that
indemnify means that his family could not bring a lawsuit. There's nothing wrong. That's fine. There's no recourse anyone in the public has to do anything about anything a police officer does.
and that's the thing, like you get these glimpses from Trump, like stuff that they've heard, that they've picked up, and he can recognize that there are communities that are disproportionately affected, and yet his solution for that is going to be to double down on those same policies, but this time the police can't get in trouble. Does that make any sense? Like when when people are saying like, oh,
Remember,
Trump's
he's in a predominantly black and brown district right now.
yeah,
And not just black and brown, but immigrants. He's threatening the immigrants in a predominantly black and brown immigrant district, saying
yeah, I mean,
this is what you guys need. You guys need to have no recourse against the police.
how do you think that plays in places that are over policed? How do you think that plays for people in those communities? You think that plays well? That's the thing. Like for all this talk, for all this, oh, Trump's making inroads. No, he's not. No, that doesn't play well anywhere. Oh, that only plays well in front of the like sycophants who just whatever he says, it's fine. But no, that's not a winning message. Not only is it wrong, not only is it disgusting, but like you guys still think this is a winning message. Like, you guys still think he's winning. Like, what? He's not winning anything. None of this is real. All this stuff, all these polls that you guys keep hearing about, these pictures, these rallies, like every bit of it is a lie. And you have no idea. They're just
Didn't even use
telling
the
you,
right word when you wrote that either.
they're just telling
Wrong
you
your, but
they're
go
winning.
off.
It's like you're playing a sport, but you can't count. So you're just relying on somebody to tell you what the score is. You're like, we're up 150 to 1, you're down 200. But you don't know because you can't count. But then that's who you guys are. You're so lost in the weeds and you're so void of actual information that this person is losing time and time and time and time again. And you guys are here saying, you getting tired of us winning yet? It's like, no, not really. But like, we'd like some better competition if that could be
Yeah,
arranged.
think about it. If he was a winner, if this guy had been winning the last, I don't know, say however many years since he was president, why then would the Democratic Party invest so much money in him being the nominee? This is the only guy we can beat. You guys get it wrong. This is the only man that we can beat. That's why we want him running for president. We couldn't beat Nikki Haley.
Yeah, let's get back to sports. If let's just say you got to the playoffs and you're the number 1 seed and you get to pick who you're playing against, you're going to take the 8th seed. Always. You're not going to take the 2 or the 3 seed. You guys had a 2 and a 3 seed. You had Nikki Haley. You had Chris Christie. You had options. But we're like, no, we don't want those ones. So what we're going to do is we're going to bring up the team that just squeaked into the playoff, this MAGA team, and we want to play them. Why? Because we think it's our easiest chance. We're looking for a sweep in the first round. What's up, Biggs?
What's up?
Hey. Hello.
Your fingers tired from typing right now? Is that what that sound is?
No, I was trying to raise my volume. You guys are really low.
Oh, sorry about that.
It's like I barely hear you now.
Sorry about that. I don't
There
know
it
what to
is.
tell you. There it is. Okay. Great. What did you want to talk about?
You're dumb.
I think he
All
was
right.
in the comments and Jen brought him up.
Oh,
Is that
Jen brought
correct?
him up. Oh, what makes us dumb? What do you think makes us dumb? What did you
I
hear
don't know.
that made you think these people are dumb?
You're all dumb.
You just don't know.
I just said you're dumb.
I know, but you don't know why. It's just a guess. You're just making a
Well, I
guess
don't
here.
live with you.
Okay, that's true. That's true. We do not live together.
You don't?
Yeah.
No. It's surprising, right?
I'm in shock.
I do feel.
You should be.
I'm gonna be honest. I don't feel like
He said
I'm
we're
the.
charged by emotion. Sorry, people in the comments are listing the things he was saying about us. If you want to
Yeah.
scroll back and read them.
I just don't feel like I'm so far in this conversation. I don't feel like the dumb one. I was just wondering if you wanted to bring up a point or tell us what made you so upset, why you think we're charged by emotions. Any of those things would be fine.
I'm not upset.
Okay. Why? So what are you feeling then? Dude, this is crazy. It's like my 4-year-old daughter. What gave you big feelings that you needed to comment in there and then come on up here? What did you?
You don't believe? You don't believe in my comments?
I don't know what your comments mean. I am not an electric
Emotionally
vehicle. I don't
charged.
get charged. I don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah, you're emotionally charged.
What do you mean?
You are.
Okay, what do you mean? Not who do you mean? What?
I don't know how else
don't
to
know.
explain the 2 words emotionally charged.
You don't? You don't know a different, like, what do you think I'm emotionally
words.
charged about?
You don't understand those 2 words together?
No, I do. I just don't know what you're referencing, my friend. What am
So
I
you're asking me to
emotional?
explain those 2 words?
No, try this one more time. I know what the words mean. I don't know what you're
Oh, good.
referencing.
So you're not dumb.
I don't think so.
Well, you asked
Do you
me
think
those
this
2
is
words. You wanted
you
me to
think this is
describe the 2
Your
words.
profile says PhD in higher education, communication, and technology, author, film producer. Why don't we talk about that?
communication? Maybe
Yeah,
Sure.
it's communications. You should add that S if you really went to school, but
Yeah, what do you want to know?
well, you didn't even write your fake degree correctly in the profile. So
That's true.
you don't get a PhD in communication.
The
And you're not
philosophy
very
of
good at it right
communication.
now. Now would be the time to start communicating.
You also couldn't
It's a
figure out the
philosophy
volume
of
at the beginning, so I
communication.
don't think that bodes well for the technology thing either.
Hmm.
Yeah. It kind of seems like you just had some feelings and you're not sure what those feelings are, and when we're asking you now, you're very confused. That's what it feels
Just like
like.
a lib to fill in the.
There it is. Yeah. Did you
There
have
it is.
anything?
PhD in communication.
There it is.
There it is.
I'm a good at a communication.
You guys don't understand my type of communication.
No, because we use words to communicate.
Yeah,
Yeah.
dumb words.
Yeah.
Yeah, you
Like,
used dumb words. You agreed to that, didn't you?
yeah, I sure did. You're doing great. You're doing
How much do you
great.
guys get paid to do this?
Just depends on the day.
I mean, what's the average day?
I don't know. I could figure it out. I have no idea, to be honest.
Less than you think, I
Yeah.
promise. much,
100,
much, whatever you think, less.
$100 a day.
There's been days that I've made $100 or more, and there's been days I've made less. It really depends. Like it's not a consistent way, because we get paid just based on what people give us, right? Like we don't have a contract with anybody. We don't have a guaranteed check. We get paid by our view, like on our own videos. We can get paid on views. We can get paid by gifts. We
I
can
don't
get
make
paid
money
by
on my
donations.
videos. Just for oh wait,
Right.
on YouTube.
Yeah. So, any other questions? You just a fan or what?
What's the average monthly breakdown of your pay?
I have no idea,
Stop.
but I wouldn't discuss it.
Yeah, are you out of
anyways.
your
Like,
mind?
what are you
Move
doing?
on.
Your
What's wrong
communication
with
major.
that?
Oh God. All right. Is
I
there
know.
anything else you want to say before you go? You're hands down the most boring human I've ever talked to. Like, honest to God, you are incredibly boring. I don't think you're
No, he's a
film
thumb thug. He's in the comments saying unintelligent things, pretending he has a PhD in communication, which is not a real thing. You really should add that S. It'll make your lie more believable. And then you get up here and you're a coward with nothing to say. You're
It's
a
a
dime a
philosophy
dozen.
of communication.
a philosophy of communication. What does that mean?
Yeah,
Oh my
Yeah.
God. I used
Explain
to
that
be
to
a
us.
philosophy major. Stop
that's the
embarrassing
PhD.
yourself, sir.
You have a wait. That's what your PhD is in?
Yeah,
Nice, dude. Well, you are certainly impressive. I may have to abandon all my views after this conversation. You've done
I
so
know,
well.
right?
Yeah. God, you're
That is
excited.
good.
You are a little excitable. I like that about you. I like people.
This is your
who are
guy,
excitable.
MAGA. This is another one of your people. This is who you guys all are.
This generalization again. Love it.
Yeah, no, we've talked to a lot of MAGA. I mean, honestly, you are the most boring. You haven't said anything yet, but yeah, this is kind of what you get out
But
of MAGA.
I mean, I
You
haven't
guys are
even
just
said
you
what
guys
my
are just
political beliefs are.
well, we know what they are because we read your profile.
You're saying I'm a MAGA?
Yeah, people who lie in their profile and come up just to troll, like it's almost always MAGA, or you're just playing or you're playing a character right now. It's one of those two things.
Wrong.
Okay, what are your political beliefs there, Bigsy?
I believe in voting for myself.
That's what everybody does. You can literally only vote for yourself. That's how our laws work. So you don't even have to believe in that. That just is the way it is.
Yep.
All right. Do you have any political beliefs? Because that wasn't a political belief, really. But do you have any political beliefs you'd like to share?
No government.
No government. Oh, so you're an anarchist.
No.
Okay. Communist?
No taxes.
Are you a communist or an anarchist?
He doesn't believe in taxes. He wants the purge. He's one of these people, the sovereign citizens.
You would not. I don't think you would do well in a world without rules. I don't know that your brain capacity.
Taxes has nothing to do with rules.
He's a sovereign citizen that wants the purge. I know.
Taxes-
I get it
No.
now. I get who you are now.
Taxes have nothing to do with rules. What are you talking about?
Yeah.
Okay.
Rules to live by. That doesn't mean we have to be
I didn't say that.
taxed
I didn't
as well.
say I didn't say rules to live by. You said you don't want a government. The government sets the rules or the law.
No,
right?
I want a government. I don't want our government we have right now.
Well, why'd you say no government then?
Well, no government according to what's happening in the United States right now.
That makes absolutely no sense. But what type of government would you like?
A non-corrupt government.
Okay, and how would you go about accomplishing that?
Well, it'll never be accomplished currently
That's good.
with
Quit
left
before you
side or
start.
right
That's
side
pretty on
people.
brand for MAGA. That's pretty on brand. Quit before you start. Here's
Brand
what I
for
want.
saying
How are you going to
exists
do
in
it? We
all
can't.
corruption will always exist, right? There will always be corruption.
What do you
sure.
think? What do you think a different thing you could do with your free time is? Like something that maybe you're better at than this. Is there something else we could come up with to help you out? You said author and
Well,
film producer. Hopefully the
I've
films are
made
more interesting than this. Hopefully the book is more interesting than this. What are some other activities we could try? Because this one might not be for you.
I've published 9 books,
I
2
bet they're
feature films.
I bet they're unbelievably good too.
They are. One's called Killer Hornets. It did really well. I made a lot
Nice.
of money off of it.
Nice. I see you have almost 1,200 followers and 200 views per video, so you must be very popular.
I don't put my movies on here.
I just said you must be very popular.
Yeah, I am.
Yeah.
1,200 views.
Awesome, dude. No, that's 1,200 followers. Communication major.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
amazing.
All right. Well,
What's Killer Hornets about?
I hope nobody that wants to work with you is watching this.
It's about a average person who works at a radio station and is basically using some alien technology and basically hooks it up to the antenna, and it distorts and mutates all the killer hornet population. So now the small town is fighting with, survival,
You
and
can
then the
find a
government
movie
has,
called
do we
Angry
find
Asian Murder Hornets. I can't find Killer Hornets.
yeah,
What's it called?
killer
You
hornets.
said Killer Hornets. I looked it
Killer
up. I can't find
hornets.
it.
That's how come it
It's on
doesn't come up when you
YouTube.
Google it? You said it did really well.
Look up Killer Hornets Bargdill. Bargdill. There's 2 books on it.
BARGD what? ILL?
ILL.
That sounds like Bark Deal. Okay, I got
I
it
own the
now.
copyright to Killer Hornets. The Murder Hornets is the generic open source
Is it Killer
wording.
Hornets V1? Is it that thing?
That's volume 1. That's the first book.
You're selling it on Amazon. Congratulations to you.
It's on Books, Walmart. It's in Asia, China.
But is Barkdale your name?
Yeah.
Okay, I got it. Sorry, no, I'm just really looking it up. I respect people that sell
That's
books on
fine.
Amazon.
I have a vampire novel called Incruentus. We made that into a feature film too.
Okay. Honestly, Art, just level with me here. Are these movies better than like your political takes, or just like your takes in general?
What is it
'Cause
with you?
if your movies are as boring as you are, I can't watch them. I want to support you, but you are remarkably boring, and I just want to know if the movies are better.
Well, Killer Hornets probably sells anywhere from, I don't know, $5,000 to $8,000 every other year.
All right, the book or the
The
movie?
book, yeah, volume 1, volume 2. The movie went through some distribution issues with a company
Probably
in
communication
California.
breakdown or something.
Yeah, they tried to
Yeah.
steal it from me.
They do that, don't they? All right.
Yeah.
Well, look, good luck with your writing and with your movie career.
Yeah,
Maybe
good luck with your
maybe politics
left-wing.
isn't your thing, but hey, I hope that the bee stuff goes really well. I love honey. I love honey. I know hornets don't make it, but I do.
Yeah, hornets don't make honey.
Not
Yeah.
even all bees make honey.
Yeah, some
That's
are
right.
lazy. All right. Well, I really enjoyed it. Have a good day, Biggs.
You enjoyed
What
it.
hey, someone had a good idea for you, Biggs. You should do Vampire Hornets next.
heard- yeah,
Combine the
I
two.
read that.
Yeah, I think that's
Yeah.
a good idea. I do
Guys.
like vampires. I'll give you that.
I was in collaboration with Vampire Sharks about 4 or 5 years ago. We were trying to write that with a studio in Florida, but it didn't get off the ground.
Vampire Sharknado.
There you go.
Yep,
Well, we'll be.
that's exactly what the producer said.
Yep. Well, I hope that this is your banner year. I hope this is the best year ever for you. I appreciate you coming by and being
I've had a
weird for
lot
a
of
little
banner
bit.
years.
I read
I hope
vampire
this is the
books.
best one.
So there you have it. I'm
I
not
have a
gonna.
new
I will
book
not
coming out.
abandon you
But
in this moment,
I have to
sir.
read some. I have to read some comments here. You can stay for these if you'd like. But Ashley says, "What do Trump's crowds at his rallies and Trump's wiener have in common?
I don't know what.
They neither grow nor show."
That's that was a good one.
Baby
Uh,
vampire shark. Nice, I
Bethan-
like that.
Bethany says, "How do you make a tissue dance?
How?
You put a little
Put a
boogie in it.
I did know that
There
one.
you go. Well done." And Katie says, "Biggs is terrible at communication. Send him back to whence he came before he puts us all to sleep, please." Uh-oh. That's not good.
Your ratings are going to go down.
Yeah, well, look, when you're around, the spotlight is too bright, and I get really, really
You
insecure,
get
and so
starstruck.
yeah, exactly, and so I probably just have to
I
have you drop
understand.
down just because you're stealing the show. You're so good at it.
Yeah.
All
All
right,
these
buddy.
hearts I'm getting.
Yeah, I hear you. All right, brother. Be well. Stay cute and cool. Have a great summer.
You too.
All
Later,
right.
Gator.
Why did the whale blush, Felice?
Why?
Because he saw the ocean's bottom.
That's funny. Now, whales are technically mammals and they need to breathe about every 45 minutes. So, could a whale dive that far? I don't know.
Well, it doesn't have to be the very
That's
bottom of the
true.
ocean. It
It's
just
not
be-
like he's in the Mariana Trench or anything.
he's not in the anus, but he's like maybe on a cheek somewhere. You know?
Yeah, the real deepest point of the ocean, like barely anything could survive. Because think about the pressure per square inch.
Yeah. Yeah. Just think about it.
Massive. I think I request you should be able to put my back up. I
Got
think.
it. I also see
'Cause that was Jen's idea and it was good.
Moo the Tuxedo Cat Squad. Moo the Tuxedo Squad. I don't know if you're opposition. If you're not,
Move the
it-
tuxedo cat.
about-
Tuxedo cats are so cute. Sorry.
what's a tuxedo cat? I don't even know what that is.
Ones that look like they have a suit on and they have white paws? You don't know what a tuxedo cat is.
Yeah, I hate those. I feel like they're always just trying to.
Oh, they're the best.
Show me
Tuxedo
up.
cats are adorable. You can't
I
hate
wear a
tuxedo
suit.
cats.
Somebody said bring up Moo. Like what? Who's Moo? Why are you telling me to bring up Moo? Who is Moo?
Slick Rick is not, or is Slick Rick?
I'm happy to bring up Moo.
W
we're-
tuxedo cats. Thank you. A lot of people are saying moo. What?
Look, yeah, there you go.
Gray tuxedo cats were even better. Yeah, I
Just know that
agree.
Jen controls all non-opposition box work. So if you
Cute.
Oh
Look
man,
at that
I'm actually
picture.
not your opposition. I just wanted to do a quick communicate with you guys and hope neither of you run into. I hope neither of you run into any killer hornets, and I really hope you both have a great Memorial Day, man. I really love your show.
thank you for communicate with us.
It is a Memorial Weekend. God, I need help.
You gotta
I
follow. That's
do-
where the follow.
Yeah, wait.
I love
Just for
that.
the cute picture, I do love a
No,
tuxedo
I appreciate
cat.
it, guys. No, I'm not opposition. I'm a huge progressive. I would be a waste of your time, so I'll check you guys out. I'm gonna stay in the chat though.
I appreciate it. Thank you.
Cute.
Thank you.
I'm
was one of the
always.
most-
I have time for tuxedo cats for sure.
That was one of the most bizarre conversations I've ever had with a human. That was weird.
Oh, are you talking about what's his name? Oh, can you mute me, Jay? You have one job.
Got it. Yeah, yeah.
It was a little strange. It was.
I still, honest to God, I still can't find the video he's talking about, the movie. I found the
my
book,
funny bone.
but what else am I going to watch tonight?
Well,
if
I
you're
can't pretend. I like fantasy. I like sci-fi, so I can't hate on a indie author trying to come up. So I'm not gonna hate on him for that. He was
Biggs,
a
will
little
you
dry.
send it to me? Biggs, will you send me the link in my DMs, and
Killer
then I can
Hornets,
copy it. I
V1?
can copy it, paste. Yeah,
Killer
I'll
Hornets
get-
V1. It's got a great cover.
yeah. I'm headed to
I
the
have it up right
dispensary
now
after.
on Amazon.
Maybe we watch it together in Discord at some point. Maybe we have a movie
It
night.
could be a Discord movie night. I
Yeah.
don't know. I only found the book on Amazon. I don't know if we can find the movie, but hopefully.
Let me check the comments real quick. Nothing in the comments. All right, we can get back to. Yeah, well, I don't remember what we were talking about after that.
Well, we'll figure it out. Let me just get
Figure out the spot.
Killer Hornets V1 off my screen. I would probably read that though. That's the sad part.
Hold on, I have a trailer.
No,
oh
you
my
don't.
god, yeah, we're definitely playing the trailer. Somebody just sent it to me. I'll send it to you. Hold on.
Okay.
That's amazing. Thank you. Where are you? Damn it. What is this?
Okay, you haven't sent it yet. I'm just gonna.
I have not.
Move off of our text messages because honestly, I
Here
don't
it
know
is.
what's in there.
Here it is.
Did you
It's
send
2
it?
clips from me. Yeah. It's right there.
Depending on the time of day, I open our text messages. We could be thrown out of TikTok. Okay, this is for you, Murder Hornet.
Where'd the audio go?
Oh, sorry. I forgot. I can't read it.
Thank you.
It's not really, there's no audio. It's just... Is that Danny DeVito? No, that's a guy that looks like Danny DeVito. Ah!
Ah! Oh shit. Oh.
A catastrophic event of titanic proportions. Faith, my friend, faith is gone and destroying our world.
Unbelievable. I take it all back. I take it all back. I take it all back. I'm watching it tonight.
Yeah, that looked good. Okay, Bargdale. Fair enough. Touche.
The makeout scene caught
We
me
should
off
watch
guard.
this in Discord. We need to get the full movie, though. We need to get it from that guy. So someone needs to message him and ask for the feature-length Killer Hornets cut.
The love scene in the middle threw me. I didn't know this was a love story. You should have told us that, Biggs. We didn't know.
You know what it reminded me of? Whenever it had the pew-pews that were shooting at the sky? It reminded me of the Chinese weather balloon when Marge and Lauren Boebert were like, we'll get our ARs and we'll shoot it down. It's like, do you understand how high 30,000 feet is? Like, I mean, I don't want to take you through a physics session, but no, dum-dums. You can't shoot down the weather balloon. But thank you for making us all listen to you talk about it.
I take back everything I said about Biggs. That was worth it. All that weirdness was worth it. And we're probably going to do a movie
Yeah,
night
actually,
in the
I would
Discord.
invite him back. No, I do agree with you on that. That was good.
Totally worth it. It had, like a low budget, I don't know what word I'm supposed to say. Cocaine, I can even say it, bear. For educational purposes only. That's the name of the movie. TikTok, please don't.
Sorry, I'm just finding our place. Oh my gosh, I'm remembering where
It's a
we
good
are.
point. I didn't see any hornets. That's a good point by Von Swede. Were there hornets in the trailer?
Oh my god, I remember what part we're on now. You guys, you think we're
Snowbird.
done with the worst of it. We're not. Prepare to lose faith in humanity. Not this this clip is annoying, but it's not the worst one. But the next one is just disgusting. Okay, this is where Trump talks about throwing migrants and the unhoused out of public spaces, I'm pretty sure. Kitty.
We're going to insist that if a violent criminal murders a police officer, they receive the death penalty. It's going to be quick.
It's gonna be quick. Hold on. You know, I was thinking about this a lot too. Like, whenever you hear Trump, this is, you know, when I have to watch hours of this crap, a lot of the hypocrisy of Donald Trump just occurs to me spontaneously. Do you know how ridiculous and wrong it is that Trump's crying about, I don't have a fair trial in the Hush Buddy trial? Does anyone remember the Central Park Five? Did they get a fair trial when a Someone was unalived in Central Park, and Trump ran a full page ad in 4 newspapers saying that they should be put to death, and they were all innocent. Does anyone remember that? And
Quickly.
this guy wants a fair trial. He railroaded 5 black men. This guy wants a fair trial. I'm so tired of it.
Sorry, Don. Sorry, buddy.
The guy who railroaded 5 black men and took out 4 full-page ads to encourage everyone to put them to death would like a fair trial.
We're going to insist that if a violent criminal murders a police officer, they receive the death penalty. It's going to be quick. And I also want to work with your mayor and your governor, happen to be Democrats, to clean up the homeless encampments so that you can once again enjoy your parks and your public spaces. Right now, you don't have public spaces. They're occupied by migrants in tents. Pleasures as simple as a walk in the park or watching your children again play in a Little League game will come roaring back, and they're going to come back very quickly. Your lifestyle and the American dream will be with you once again, and we're going to bring it back, the American dream. You don't have an American dream right now.
Yeah, okay. I want to just say, so again, this case, this is one, remember when I gave everyone the Washington Post article that gets updated in real time as the Supreme Court is updating cases. One of those cases that the Supreme Court heard oral arguments this session is whether or not people can sleep outside. You've heard this. And even Clarence Thomas, one of his questions are like, where do you, well, can you tell me where they're supposed to sleep? Like, where, like, people are choosing or something to be unhoused and sleep outside. They want that. This is a Supreme Court case. We don't know what the Supreme Court will do. It may be made illegal to sleep outside. And I just want to say,
I need to read some comments when
go ahead.
you get, yeah, real quick. Just Cindy says, nobody twirls hair like Felice. Quite a prolific hair twirler. She also says, I get
Nervous
giggly.
habit.
Also says, I get giggly when Jay is mad and says, God damn it. Thank you. That is, sorry about that. I'll try and control my temper. There was a MAGA in the box for a second and they left, but you can come back. It was some weird ass name. Looked like another maybe troll account, but sorry, Felice. Didn't mean to.
Hopefully it was Killer Hornets guy offering us the cut of his movie so we can have movie night. And that's a movie night I would attend.
If you guys could help us also with the likes, I just got a warning, not a warning, just a notification that our live is being muted to some audiences because some of the stuff we're talking about is sensitive. I'm guessing it's mostly muted to victims of hornets, but it could be other people as well. So if you guys could help us out with those likes, make sure.
Tap the screen, guys.
And if you are a victim of hornet violence, just know we've now left that topic for now. And if we go back to it, we'll do a trigger warning beforehand. Protect your peace if you are somebody who has been.
I think it's fair to
attacked by a
say
hornet.
as well in this moment that, to be fair, not all hornets are violent.
It's true. It's yeah.
We don't want to make rash generalizations about groups like, someone does. So to be fair, there are some peaceful hornets.
Yeah. They're not all killer hornets. Some of them just want to
Don't
live their
say
hornet
that
life.
word.
Oh, that could have been what it was. Sorry.
Okay, now we're going to get disgusting. Okay, so, and this, I don't know what else to say, but Trump brings a Puerto Rican fellow onto the stage to apologize to him on behalf, and I wish I was kidding, of Judge Juan Merchan. And now you guys can all hear how to pronounce Merchan correctly from an actual Spanish speaker. Remember, this man's from Puerto Rico and speaks Spanish. Judge Juan Merchan was born in Colombia. Those are separate places that,
And-
due to Spanish colonization, they both speak the colonizers' language of Spanish. But are they from the same place? No.
This man, just to be clear, so this man is from Puerto Rico. You said right? And Judge Merchan is his family's from Colombia?
Merchan, yeah, he was
Merchan?
born in Colombia. He came to America when he was 6 years old.
Okay, and correct me if I'm wrong, but Donald Trump thinks both of them are from Mexico, right? Is that what this clip is?
I'm not sure about that, but yeah, basically anything south. Well, it's not just Donald Trump. I would say
and the
that's my
crowd.
experience as an indigenous Mexican, that people do not understand that because of Spanish colonization, Spanish being not a language spoken by brown people, but a European country who went and subjugated a bunch of indigenous population south of here. And yes, many people believe that everything south of the southern border is in fact Mexico.
Just to be clear, as somebody who's lived south of the border, is that not true then? It's not true.
It is not, in fact, the case. But here again is a Puerto Rican man who will apologize. Watch how Donald Trump's standing, like he's getting an award from like a general, who will now apologize to Donald Trump on behalf of Juan Merchan.
And there you go, Drew. She cleared that up for you. It's not all Mexico. So here you go.
Today I'm here for various reasons. But I want to tell you first that as a Puerto Rican, as a Hispanic, I want to apologize to you for the conduct of Judge Juan Merchan.
Trump's trying not to throw paper towels at him right now.
Apologize.
Do it. Don't do it.
He's being used. He has been used to destroy you. But we know better than that. We know better than that.
A sad moment for everyone on earth. And again, I will say it again, and it could be, you could look, that never has there been a fairer judge who's put up with more BS than Judge Juan Merchan. We don't, and honestly, I don't know who's on the jury and what they think or believe. That's who ultimately will make the decision. But as far as somebody putting up with so much BS and still remaining completely impartial, it gets no better than Justice Juan Merchan.
Sorry, I was looking for something. I can't find it.
I don't know why am I.
Enjoy the silence for a second, guys.
Yeah, everyone do enjoy the silence.
Where is it?
I don't know. Hold on.
You're good. Sorry about that, guys. Sorry, I was looking for something too. We just happened to look at the same time, and I can't find it. Let me tap the screen. Thank you. Whoever said that, thank you for that. Let me check the messages. Easton says, friend. Friend asks, why are you wearing a rug? Me. How else am I going to get Jay's attention? Well, mission accomplished. Thank you for that. Appreciate it, Easton. Did you get it? Oh, we're restarting.
I don't know why. I think I have to restart my computer. It's like I can't make it go off this screen for some reason. Even when it does, it doesn't.
Did you ask it nicely? Type in please.
Okay, Jay.
Command shift please. I think that works. Shut up. My face turns red. I gotta stay in the sun more so you guys can't tell when my face gets red as often. Or like maybe I get like a red.
Isn't that gonna make it worse?
No, it'll just always be red. So you won't know that I'm embarrassed. I'll just have a red face. I think that works. Huba Stank time. That's right. Thank you. Good point. Now that we have a little bit of downtime, let's talk more about Huba Stank. And I was trying to remember the name of the Huba Stank. There was a reason, but what's the other one? Is it Crawling in the Dark? Let's see. Yeah, that's what it was. It's Crawling in the Dark. I remember watching that music video on the box. Did you have that, Philippe? Did you have the box?
What do you mean?
Know what that is? It was I remember it was channel 58. Like we didn't have cable, but the box was like
if it was on regular TV, like something that you needed an antenna for, then possibly yes.
it was just music videos, but you had to pay. Like, so if you want, like, people would, I was like $1 or $2, and you would send them $2, and then they'd play the music video. So it was like a TV jukebox, and there were times when nobody would request it. It would just be like nothing for a while. But yeah, that was my MTV. Working? Yeah, I am showing my age. Someone yesterday asked me, who was it yesterday? Like, you were like, what are you, like 19? I loved that guy. Who was that? Who was it that asked
Oh
me if I
yeah,
was
well, he
19
was
yesterday?
not that. He was kind of annoying, but
I just loved that part. I thought that was very kind.
what just happened? Just
Jen turned off your screen, just in case. There you go.
Okay, we are on. Hold on, let me just find the number.
Bronco, that's who it was. That's right, it was Bronco. Might need to check for update. Did you try?
Oh, this is
powering it
when.
off and on?
So this is where we're almost done with this. I mean, then we can get into like mind crowd type stuff. But this is Trump saying that he's going to win New York, which again he lost by 20 plus points. If you don't know, that is too many. And
You live in a blue city, but it's going red very, very quickly.
is it? Is it? We don't know. We shall see.
And it is hardworking patriots.
He did this
and
rally.
this is something
Oh yeah,
you can say it, and you.
we were talking about
And it is hardworking.
him just saying random things wrong. Listen to him say patriots.
And it is hardworking patriotic, and this is something you can say it, and you can say it 1,000,000 times, and you can emblazon it. It's hardworking patriots like you who are going to save our country. You are going to save our country.
Are they? But again,
What's
let's
he
listen
talking
to him
about?
say patriotic.
And it is hardworking patriotic, and this is something you can say it, and you.
Again, which you said you saw something with doctors, yeah, like all
Yeah,
signs of aphasia.
The patriot lick sounds like a STD you contract at a Trump rally. The patriot lick. I think it's tough. Penicillin though will clear it right up.
Oh yeah, and then I was talking about this is from freedomnews.tv. Trump supporters begin to leave the event. So this is what I was talking about. Like when Trump starts speaking, like before that, like other people like Andrew Giuliani, all these people were, saying random
Titans.
But this is literally when Trump started speaking, everyone laughed, which makes me think it was kind of planned or something because as someone who's watched a lot of Trump rallies, I've never seen a planned mass exodus when Trump gets on stage.
Let's see it.
Where are you going? Trump's behind your back. Where have you gone? They were looking for answers to questions you can't recall.
Now, those are the protesters, the thousands screaming, "Let us in." And all of these people, they're exiting or walking towards that protest. Again, some of these people do have Trump stuff on that were leaving, but Jay was talking, so you can't really hear it. But I know people are going to be like, oh, how do you know they were leaving? You can hear Trump in the background starting to speak. You can match up the time of the rally with what he's saying in the background. And he had just started to speak, and literally hundreds upon hundreds of people left.
Someone said they had to start driving back to their states. That's really good. Yeah, the way you can tell that they're leaving is Trump's behind them. And so when you're leaving something, it'll be behind you. And the further away you get from it, the further away whatever you left was. That's how we figured the whole thing out.
Yeah, so listen, you can hear Trump speaking. For all the people are going to be like, what are you talking about? I don't know why hundreds of people left when Trump started speaking. I do know that they did, though.
Nobody calls me a patriot lick and gets away with it. I'm out of here.
and those were the people who are protesting Trump being in the Bronx, which again is in a district that is predominantly black and brown immigrants.
Can we go back, and you can mute it on this one, but can you start it over? I just want to point something out. The
Okay.
amount of, there's one person that there's multiple, like a type of person, there's multiple of them. I want to see if anybody else
So
caught this.
you want not the sound?
Yeah, we don't need the
Okay.
sound. Yeah. And I'll just point them out as we go. It's not these ones. It's where are they? It's on the next. Like, look at all these guys blocking the sun with their hands while they have on hats. They're wearing hats and sunglasses. Here's another one. Oh, gotta block the sun. Here's another one. What's he gonna do? Oh, gotta block the sun. Nobody knows what their hats do. I don't know what's going on at Trump rallies, but you turn it around, it'll block out the sun for you. That's it. That's all I had. I see Alberta B or Albertab. Just if you're opposition, let us know. If not, then you can come up in like 20-ish minutes. We'll be doing.
Yeah, let me say this
open.
because this is important. And there's a corresponding little story about it. Let me make sure I get the number. Yeah, number 7 under articles. Trump proudly shared the stage and accepted the endorsement tonight of 2 rappers indicted along with 30 other gang members in a 140-count criminal indictment that includes the murder and at least a dozen shootings. So again, because Trump, their names are Sleepy Hollow and Chef G. If you don't know, this is like one of the largest.
Everybody knows Sleepy Hollow and Chef G. Who doesn't? Household names. No, I don't know who they are.
Oh, well, okay. Anyways, Chef G recently posted 1.5 million in cash in a cash bond to get released, and now he's here with Trump because the DOJ's going after. But this, I want you to keep in mind. This is the same Trump that says he shouldn't be on trial because there's so much violent crime that should be prosecuted. These are people accused of violent crime that Trump says should be prosecuted. And here's Trump saying that, they should not be prosecuted. Oh, and just to be offensive, he's talking about his gold teeth. Trump's saying that he too would like some gold teeth. He'll say it at the end of the video.
Oh, I like that. I want to get that done.
One thing I want to say. They always gonna whisper your accomplishments and shout your failures. Trump gonna shout the wins for all of us.
What?
Make America great again.
This crowd is so easy. No wonder Trump has so much confidence. If I performed in front of this crowd every day, I would also be confident.
I want to find out where you did. I gotta get my teeth.
Hold on, let me rewind it and play it again so everyone can hear. Just listen to what he says at the end.
Thank you very much. That's where I like those teeth. I want to find out where you did. I gotta get my teeth like that.
This man is so offensive. But again, you're right. Someone mentioned this in the comments, and that's a good thing to point out. These people, some of the crimes these people are charged with definitely involve drugs. These are the people he said should be put to a quick unaliving.
Very quick.
But now what it's convenient, because these are New York, rappers. Like that's why they're so well known by the crowd, because that's where they're from. So again, these are people that Trump literally said should be unalived earlier in his speech. He now marches them up to try to get African American votes and say, look at me, we're both under indictment. The Trump, in every speech in the courthouse hallway whining sessions he does, says there's actual violent crime that should be prosecuted, right? He's pointing at crimes like this, violent crimes, drug crimes, and saying, why don't they do something about that? But when it's convenient, he marches them out as props.
Arden sends a comment, says, so he's gonna win New York but can't get a fair trial there. It's a fair point. It's a fair point. Got it. Which side of that argument? Again, MAGA just like plants themselves on both sides of every argument, so that they can never really be wrong, right? It's just all about Trump. That's the whole thing. It's Donald Trump, and whatever he says, it's fine. If it's stupid, it's fine. If he takes both positions, it's fine. We just love Trump because at least he's not Biden.
Now here's Trump's referring to the counter protesters. Because they were so loud, it's hard to acknowledge they're not there. You could hear them in the distance.
Take your time, Doc. We have time.
Oh wait, no, sorry. I deleted this. This is the longer video of the water thing. Remember I was telling you that like the reason Trump was taking a drink of water was because somebody was like not gonna make it in the audience. This is the longer clip of him being like, take your time, and instead of like handing a bottle of water, someone just drinks it.
Take your time, Doc. We have time. Some people waited here for 2 days. It's tough. It's tough. Thank you.
Waited for 2 days to get to a place you can just walk into.
Plenty of time. That's good. Water.
Look at him. Look.
People are cheering that. This is a cult, guys. This is a cult. It's so weird.
Sorry, that's just the longer clip of it. So just again, somebody was unconscious in the crowd from heat stroke, and Trump uses his water bottle to take a drink, which again, he said was inappropriate. You can't drink water during speeches.
I feel like they were, you had that glitch from the Trump rally that you played on whatever it was, Wednesday or Thursday, where the teleprompter broke and he just went quiet for a while. Like, I feel like a lot of people are making something out of it. For me, what I see with Trump is like he's exhausted and he's bored. Like he's even bored by his own things. The old Trump would never let that long of a silence exist, right? You're losing your crowd, you're losing the momentum. The old Trump would never allow that. I think he's just like exhausted and bored with this, but he's just got to keep it up. This is the only chance he has to pay his bills, but he comes off as extremely bored to me.
Guys, keep tapping the screen. Let's get to 250K. We can do it. This is a finger workout. Again, we did get a violation for talking about aggressive hornet.
Yeah.
So if you could tap the screen, that would be great so we could get to the For You page.
I will tell you, a lot of people say, do you think you can ever get the sides together? And by the way, I have to say something. Our side is much bigger than their side. You see that?
Unless you're comparing numbers.
We're more quiet, much more quiet.
Oh, yeah.
When we get going, we're much tougher, right?
Well, that's the silent majority thing.
But it is much bigger.
He's talking about the other crowd that's screaming in the background. Yeah. He's like, people say we should get our two sides together.
Yeah, this is that same silent
acting
majority
like he planned it, basically, is what he's saying.
Do you remember when they said that, like, that's how they explained the polls? They're like, there's this silent majority, and it was kind of true. There were a bunch of people who lied about who they were going to vote for, and then it turned out they voted for Trump. But those people, a lot of those people switched. This is, again, it's just a rerun. He's so lazy, and he's completely given up. He's just talking about a thing that was hypothesized to exist that doesn't exist. Not only are they not a majority, but goddamn, they do not shut up. There's nothing silent about MAGA. They run down. They were in the streets yesterday carrying Trump flags, chanting. Like, you can say that that's cool. You might like that, but let's not call MAGA quiet. There's nothing quiet about MAGA. There's no quiet dignity, no quiet, no dignity.
No quiet, no dignity. That was number 9
No
on the
doubt.
outline because I had an extra clip in there. So yeah, that's number 9. So now we're moving on to number 8. This is the clip I was telling you about a while back. It's where Trump's like, if we were gonna go into Iraq, we should have taken their oil. You know, like what the British did to Iran.
They bombed the hell out of the place, and then they left. But to the victor belong the spoils. We didn't do that. Now, in Iraq, years ago, I was a civilian, but I got a lot of publicity for whatever the hell reason. And I said, don't go into Iraq, don't go into Iraq, don't go into Iraq. But if you're going to go in, keep the oil. Well, they went in, and they didn't keep the oil. And Iraq now has $350 billion in cash from the oil. They bombed the hell out of
He
the
wanted
place,
to
and then they left.
steal the oil out from under the feet of Iraqis. I mean, he's angry because we didn't take another country's natural resources and we went in and got out.
It's also a lie. It's also a lie.
Well,
he never said that.
Oh, I know he didn't say that. What he said
yeah.
was it wasn't, we shouldn't go into Iraq because it was the Saudis. Like, that's what, if you remember, like, Trump was the one saying it was the Saudis that were on the hijackers.
No, but that was later. This is from a 2003 interview with Fox, talking about the Iraq war. It looks like a tremendous success from a military standpoint. Before the Iraq war, Trump in September 2002, is he for invading Iraq? Trump responded, yeah, I guess so. I wish the first time it was done correctly. And then in a 2000 book called The America We Deserve, Trump argued that a military strike on Iraq might be necessary. I'm no warmonger, but the fact is, if we decide a strike against Iraq is necessary, it is madness not to carry the mission to its conclusion. When we don't, we have the worst of all worlds. Iraq remains a threat and now has more incentive than ever to attack us. Am I being contradictory here by presenting myself as a deal maker and then recommending preemptive strikes? He asked the question.
Oh, Trump is a complete liar.
Yeah, I don't think so.
Yeah,
There's nothing really comparable to unleashing a squadron of bombers. But in the world of business, sometimes you have to make quick, secret, decisive moves in order to gain a negotiating advantage. None of that is Donald Trump saying, don't go to war.
Drew, you were just saying the opposite in the comments. Do you want to come up here and show us your quotes of Trump saying the opposite?
Yeah, they covered this in 2016 when he was trying to use this against Jeb Bush. And he's like, I was against the Iraq war. And they're like, hey, dummy, you never shut up. And we have quotes of you saying you're for it. Like, do you not think we can go back and check this stuff?
There were think tanks that wanted, that it suggested prior to George W. Bush being in office, so you could do the math, that were wanting an Iraqi invasion for financial gain. Like, this was always a Republican thing. Yeah. Like, who was that? What's his? Karl Rove, a think tank associated with Karl Rove.
Let me just give you a quip that shows like what Donald Trump is. And once you see through Donald Trump and you hear him say certain things, you know, there's like certain things, like if he says sir, we're like, okay, so this is a made up story. The way Donald Trump talks, you can tell when his story is made up. And here's an example. He said, I always used to say, if they're going to go in, nobody cared that much, but it got written about. If they're going to go in, I'm sure you've heard this statement, because I made it more than any human being. Son of a bitch. Where did it go? Because I've made it more than any human being alive. If they're going into Iraq, keep the oil. They never did. They never did. So CNN fact checked this, where he said they could find no examples of Trump saying anything before that interview about keeping Iraq's oil. This is just revisionist history in 2003 that Trump's like, here's what I said all along. And it's not what he said all along.
So it's a lie about a lie?
So yeah, the
lie.
lie about keeping the oil is a lie he made up later, lying about what he had said previously. Like, that's the craziness about Trump, is everything this dude says is a lie. And if you're not the kind of person, you get the accusation of Trump derangement syndrome a lot, and they're like, you're obsessed. No, it's because we don't stop. Like, we don't stop when Trump says something and take it at face value. We go back to the origins. And when you go back to the oranges, I want to use Trump's language. We go back to the oranges of his statements. And it turns out almost everything he claims he was right about, he was on the opposite side of, and he's just lying now. This is not a guy that consistently is on the right side of history. He's consistently pretending that he was on the right side of history years later, but he's such a loudmouth that unfortunately we have quotes from him being on the exact opposite side. And again, none of you care because you don't care that this guy lies to you. You've already completely sold out. You've already decided this is what we're going to do. We don't criticize this guy. We just do what he says. And when inconveniently someone proves that he lies, you put up the blinders and you move forward. You move forward and you pretend that didn't exist.
Terrible thing to say, but I believe it.
Oh God,
Many
I
of
should
the
probably
hostages that you
hold
went-
on. Trigger warning. Sorry, trigger warning. This is not.
Is he going to talk about hornets?
No, he's going to talk about the hostages, the October 7th hostages, and it's pretty
worse.
horrible.
Terrible thing to say, but I believe it. Many of the hostages that you're waiting for, and everybody's waiting for, those hostages, many of them are dead. Many of them are dead. And it's a horrible thing. It's a horrible thing, but many of those hostages are dead. And that's why when you see these negotiations where Hamas is like not getting back, they're saying, man, we could make a good deal, but these people are no longer alive. When I saw the way they were treated, when I saw they were thrown into the cars and how horribly they were treated, there's no way that those hostages, and some will be alive, but many of those hostages are dead. It's a very serious, horrible thing. It would have never happened if the election weren't rigged. It would have never happened if I...
And then he makes this a lie about the elections. Drew, would you like to come up here and defend this? You're in the comments. Agreeing with him.
Ohad, I see you, and I just want you to know, I see you, I hear you. I'm not interested. So you may if you want to start talking, I would go somewhere else. I don't have the patience for you today. So you have to go somewhere else. Nobody wants to hear you simp for Israel today. Go somewhere else.
Oh yeah, George Santos was there. I think it's, for reporting's sake, it's important to mention that George Santos was in fact there. He was sweating.
He does not look
Looking
good.
forward to the rally, Mr. Santos?
Absolutely, always.
What do you expect to happen?
Quite frankly, I have no expectations today. We're in the Bronx, so...
I have no expectations today. We're in the Bronx. Shitting on the Bronx. This, it's disgusting.
This has really aged him. He's not doing well.
When he's not in suits he bought with his, with the credit card numbers he stole from people that donated to his campaign, he looks worse.
Yeah.
Okay, again, this is the crowd, right? Again, the park permit max was for 3,500. This is an aerial view of Trump's tiny crowd.
Now
here's at the end of Trump's Bronx rally.
Real quick, I just want to make sure. I've seen this going around, and the Republicans, I never fact checked it. The Republicans are saying that this, and I think I know it. Like, this is during the rally, before the rally. Republicans are saying this is not the actual picture from once the rally started. Do you know? Have you seen any fact check on that?
Well, no, he's on stage in this picture.
That's on there. I couldn't tell.
Yeah, he's on stage, and this is actually during the rally, and that's when there's people left when he started speaking. You have to remember, the most people that were there was before Trump started speaking.
You know what's crazy?
Which is hilarious, because I don't know why. Well, let me just take you through the numbers. Hold on. Let me just, because there's some calculations done.
You take me through the numbers. I'm just saying, I thought 100,000 people would look bigger than that. That's what's crazy. I had no idea. I thought
and
it would
again,
look like
if
more.
you don't remember what Jay's referring to, Trump had a rally last Sunday in New Jersey, which in a district that is Wildwood, which is one of the only districts that traditionally votes Republican. It's right next to Pennsylvania. It's many people from many states were there, but Trump claimed there was 100,000 people there. Jesse Waters, who works for Fox, who sent his people there. And Jesse Waters is a liar. He said 30,000. Then, like what you,
The
real
town says
estimates from
15.
the New York Times and from other places was 10 to 15. So Jesse Waters doubled it for him. Then someone, and I read this I think on Tuesday to you guys or Wednesday. Someone, a town council person or whatever from Wildwood came out and said, well, we were misquoted. 80,000 is the number of people that were in Wildwood, New Jersey, the entire place, including shops, restaurants, the beach, like amusement park, the entire district.
Someone's got to tell Donald Trump that, like, True Social is not a loan application. You can't just quadruple the size of the attendance there. You can't
That's
just
how
pick
he got.
any number.
That's this bank fraud. This is how he got arrested
Yeah.
for fraud.
Can't do that.
At the end of Trump's Bronx rally, his team, Trump's team, just to be clear, about 3,000 people in attendance. Population of the Bronx is 1.5 million. New York City population 8.5 million. New York population 19.8 million. Percentage at Trump's rally of the Bronx population, and this is by Trump's team's own numbers. 0.2%, NYC population 0.035%, New York population 0.015%. I don't think this is gonna win him New York City.
No, he's gonna win. He's got it. He's got this locked down. This is all
If
him.
you guys, this is the math's not mathing for Trump. So just to be clear, when you actually do math, it's not going to work out for Donald Trump.
But as long as the benefit Trump has is that MAGA won't know as long as you go past this many, right? Once you go past this many, they don't know. And so you can just go past this many and then tell them a number. And they're like, yeah, how am I going to get any further than this many?
That's the aerial picture. This is Trump's own. This is him on that. We did the aerial. This is the video from Trump's own team of, like, a different
Massive.
a different view. So I'm just saying these are released by Trump's team.
There's nearly 80 people there. That's amazing.
And this is the clip from the New York Post to, and I did a Rupert Murdoch Trump favorite publication, so you guys can't say I'm lying. The rally will take place at 6 p.m. in Crotona Park, and the Trump campaign has a permit for up to 3,500 people to attend. His campaign announced last week. Trump, 77, is expected to speak on the Empire State's economy. I thought he was 76. Trump's 77 now. Man.
Just a young man.
Yeah, just a young guy. Nothing old about him, but Biden's old. They would have been in high school together, but Biden's old. Trump is now older than Biden when he was elected, right? Like, it's absolute, like, make it make sense. Anyways, I just thought we'd go through that. Oh, these are more, like, again, he's on stage. See, this is because I knew you wouldn't believe me. This is the aerial picture. This is Trump on stage. Here he is in the video, standing here. They point out, here's the aerial picture of this guy. Here he is standing here because MAGA just can't deal with the truth.
Well, and also that space off to Trump's left, that open area. Do you see what I'm talking about? Like on the far right of the picture, that open area where there's just... Yeah, so the wind is blowing in that direction, and they don't put people there because Trump farts, and so they've had to clear that section. I mean, people just move, but that's why that big gap is there.
Thank you.
It
for that.
shifts
Keep
with the
tapping
wind.
the screen, guys. We're almost to 300K. But again, like, just because this is what people have to do now to show crowd size, because no matter what you do, Trump has to lie. He couldn't have had more than 3,500 people. Like, maybe there was I don't know. There's probably 3,000, but then there was the mass exodus when he spoke. So who knows how many people actually heard Trump speak.
Mass exodus also caused that green spot. There were
Well,
multiple mass
that green
exodus.
spot's fun. Yeah, no one can stand there for probably the reason you said. That was the first.
Because
And
of
now
Trump's mass exodus.
I want us all to die inside a little. Here we go. Last clip. This is a guy at the Trump rally who has something to say.
I saw this guy dancing in another video.
Oh my God.
He's got a jazzy scooter?
Oh, I don't know.
I'm pretty sure this is
It's
him.
not in the video if he has one.
He's a great man. The family is great. They get nothing but grief. I love you, Donald. I would love to be able to shake your hand. It was my mom's last dying wish.
Wow, incredible, incredible. Thank you, sir.
Donald, 2020.
I just cut it off because that's the type of person I am.
What a way to die. Oh boy, that's tough.
And that
Your
was
dying
the
wishes that
Trump
are
rally in the Bronx.
God, it's a cult. It's the last hour. It's Friday. The box is open. We can talk about whatever.
Will you drop me, Jen, this one?
Yeah, you guys. Box is open. You guys are welcome to come up. But I hope to God that this man is lying. It is more sad if that story's true than if he's lying. I really hope
Oh, the
his
guy that
mom
just
wasn't
spoke.
like, my dying wish is that you get to shake Donald Trump's hand. That's a low bar. Mothers, have better wishes for your children. If that's true, I don't know if they were very loved. Outlaw Bandit's been here forever. They may not still be here. Yeah, I don't think so. All right, Jen, bring up who's next. Outlaw Bandit, you were up there for a while. You probably timed out, but jump back in. If you jump back in the queue, Jen will bump you up to the front of the queue. And it's pizza for breakfast.
How's it going,
It's
my
not
best
going to
friend?
be like last week. Jay's not going to throw up because you started talking.
We'll see. It might have been you. We're
You
gonna find
made
out.
Jay sick
Yeah.
last week. That's all
I
I,
tried to
know
take
is
it
all
out
of a
personally.
sudden nausea overtook him when you started speaking.
That was rough. I did not like that.
I bathe regularly, so I don't understand what the problem is.
All right. Well, it could have been a bug then. Maybe it wasn't you. What's up?
In terms of I want to defend Trump on something here.
Yeah, I bet. Yeah.
For the rally he was just at, and God bless the person who has suffered dehydration. The only reason
He said
why
due to bad pizza in the comments. Very much might be true.
He left
Due
the
to
pizza out
bad
overnight
pizza.
and then ate it for breakfast.
The only reason why Trump didn't share that water is because it was Dasani, and no one likes Dasani. So he was actually doing it.
He tried to
If
give
only
it
it
away.
was Trump ice with microplastics, like he gave to the residents of Ohio during the train crash. Passed out 10-year-old water filled with microplastics.
Oh my god.
you're right.
My question is, and you might have spoken about this already in terms of Nikki Haley's endorsement for Trump or voting for him. I'm curious as to your thoughts on what her supporters might be thinking or how they might vote given her voting for him.
If you want to hear from, actually, this is really funny you mentioned this because God, one of these days we have so much to catch up on. But last night on Lawrence O'Donnell, he had the head of like the Nikki Haley supporters on and was asking them about like, oh, are you surprised about this? Blah, blah, blah. And like, I don't think they're surprised. Like this is the inevitable. Also, another thing we were going to show 2 nights ago, Ted Cruz was on Caitlin Collins. You guys probably heard about that interview. It was an absolute shit show.
Yeah.
But yeah, and he was saying the same thing. Like, I've been in Nikki Haley's position. Like, it too took me time to come to my senses and like endorse Trump. Like, these people are sycophants.
Absolutely. Like that's, I don't know. It just like if I were a
Jay, you're muted.
supporter of her, like the supporters were just never. These guys are supposed to be never Trumpers. So,
I think you're dead right on that. They weren't Nikki Haley supporters. They were never Trumpers before they were Nikki Haley supporters. Like there may be, I mean, I'm sure there's some people that are like diehard Nickies, but I doubt it's high. Like, she doesn't inspire anybody.
Yeah,
I don't think it's a high number
what the head
people
of
who are
them
like Nikki.
Yeah, what the head of them were saying to Lawrence O'Donnell was that they took a meeting with Biden, and he was just like, no promises, like it's early, but I agree with Jay and with you. I think they're never Trumpers, and they're like that's what the exit polls show, right? Even in these last primaries, Nikki Haley's been out of the race for months. Still, about 22% of exit polls are voting for Nikki Haley, and I don't think they're people who are in love with Nikki Haley. I think they're never Trumpers. That's why in the exit polls of these primaries, they're all saying the same thing. We will not move right. Like,
Yeah.
they're not going to vote for Trump. They're going to move left. And the guy basically was on saying, we had our first initial meeting with Biden's camp, and it's just an initial meeting, like no
Yep.
promises to vote, but we'll see.
Yeah, I mean, like I would consider those people like the actual Republicans of the Republican Party, like the people who,
For
like, even
sure.
if you disagree with them, they're the small government people, and those who actually believe in that. So that's kind of my inkling as well. So I appreciate your insight.
Yeah, I agree with you.
Yeah. So yeah.
Okay.
Anyway, thanks again. I'll let you bring up
Hey,
some other people.
I gotta be I look forward to talking to you every Friday.
I was just about to
we
say
gotta
that.
keep doing this. I appreciate it.
And
keep
you
coming
always
up.
you come up with like something interesting to ask, or you push back on us, which I like. You forced Jay to throw up. That was interesting. It's always a good time, always a pleasure.
I appreciate that so much, like more than you would ever realize. And if I'm not forcing Jay to throw up, then I'm not doing my job. So
That's right. You are the fingers down my throat. I
Amen.
appreciate it. Let's see it.
thanks again, guys.
Yeah.
Have a good one.
Bye. All right. Oh yeah, Jen's controlling the box. I don't know who's who. All right, Jen, whoever's next. What's that necklace? I didn't notice
It's
that before.
great. This was given to me. If anyone wants to look at my Amazon wish list, feel free. But a guy named who just said in the gift note, it's a President Smith. So thank you. This is an anxiety necklace. It's like this. I don't know if anyone with anxiety's probably seen them. Like, I'm diagnosed with PTSD, but they're these like little metal tubes. You get them on Amazon, and then like they force you to like breathe deep and slowly, like in and out.
See, that's
Nice.
cool.
Can you guys hear me?
So
Yeah,
thank
hey.
you, President Smith.
Hi. I was going to join last week, but Jay disappeared, and I was like, something's not right there.
Oh, it's the
It was
kitty.
not
Wait,
right.
who is this? I know your voice.
You know my
It's
voice.
Lynn.
Yeah.
This is Lynn.
Did you change your name?
No, I changed
Oh.
my profile picture.
Yeah, that's what it is. I know. It's like I can always like I have this thing with voices because I did sales, and you just get so used to talking like in advertising sales to people on the phone. But I knew something was different with your profile.
Lynn's one of the like people that I hung out with when I first started doing TikTok. And I think the rug story came out one night when we would do it. Like it was like 2 a.m. Everybody was blazed. There was that racist guy with no neck. And we used to like on the weekends every once in a while we would just go on a backup account and have these crazy lives. So like I've known Lynn basically as long as I've been on TikTok.
Yes, before you blew up and became famous.
Shut up.
I
Just know
actually
your
had a
pickle
serious-
story. That's the first time I remember.
I actually had a serious question for you guys. Something that's really scaring me right now is the sort of the left that are saying that they're not going to vote for Biden and they're trying to like shake it up and get us a third party. And that kind of terrifies me. I feel like there's a lot of people talking about it, and I'm wondering if you guys come across people like that, and also how to approach conversations with them.
That happened yesterday. I'm trying to remember. I don't know if she's here. It came up. I don't know if I'm like the right person to answer how to best handle it. I handle things in my way, and I don't know that it's always the most effective. But I do think it's important to be really realistic with people about what they're voting for, and understand that like, should you be in a place, the implications could be very high. Like, I get somebody not wanting to attach their name to Joe Biden, but you don't like voting for somebody doesn't attach your name to them. We got to stop acting like that. It's okay to vote for somebody and be thoroughly disgusted with their performance and not vote for them again. It's okay to vote for somebody, be thoroughly disgusted with their performance and say, okay, well, it's still better than that. Like that's an okay thing to have. Like, I don't think we have to tie our identity to the person we voted for, but we should try and inform ourselves enough that if we do vote for somebody awful, we change our mind. Don't double down on that.
I think I would say this, like, And again, I'm gonna just credit Nemo with this because I'm fairly certain that I heard this from Nemo when we used to do lives together. But like, I think if you want to give like a short history lesson, like the most successful, candidate that proliferated and got the largest percentage of the popular vote was Ross Perot, right? He got 18% of the popular vote. How many electoral votes did Ross Perot win? 0.
I remember that. I think my dad voted for Ross
when you
Perot.
vote, it doesn't. I mean, like this is a numbers game. This is a math game. The Electoral College is in place to make because the Republicans would never win another election if we just went off the popular vote. If there was a popular vote, I think it would be a different conversation about third-party candidates. The Electoral College is designed so Republicans can use gerrymandering, step on voting rights and still win. And the most prolific third-party candidate of all time, Ross Perot, got 18% of the vote and 0 electoral votes. So whether you like to hear it or not, you will in fact be helping to elect Donald Trump. You are playing into their hands. I once showed a video of at Trump rallies because I know that they do this. They canvass for RFK. They sign up people to help RFK get on ballots and whatnot. And it's very funny to watch because now Trump is very scared of RFK because RFK is such a conspiracy theorist. But this was a plan. This is always a plan. RFK's campaign is backed by Steve Bannon and people related to Steve Bannon. I mean, just follow the trail, right? Follow the money. Figure out who was the one, Andrew Yang, the Forward Party. Everyone remember that in 2022. There's always these candidates that come up, and if you follow the money, like Mo, our awesome mod, likes to do, you find out that for some reason they're always backed by Republicans.
Right. I think I just get a lot of anxiety around seeing. I just saw a friend that I have on TikTok. She posted a thing from Jill Stein's campaign website that was she only a third party candidate only needs to get 25% of the vote in order to win, as little as 25% of the vote to win or something like that. And they did they had some reference to the last time a third party candidate won, which was, I can't remember who it was.
Because there were so many parties, right? So 25% of the vote was when there's 8 parties. Yeah, that's a
right.
That's a big win. But if it's 25% of the vote and there's 3 candidates, then no. That would require not only Jill Stein getting a large portion of the votes, but you'd also need RFK. You'd also need Cornel West. You would need all of them to siphon off a ton of votes before 25% would ever be enough to win.
Right.
That's why when you hear about, I don't know if anyone understands, when they're hearing the term coalition government in other countries, that's because people in other democratic countries, there aren't 2-party systems. So in Scandinavian democracy, in order to get a guy into the presidency, you have to form a coalition, which is are multiple political parties banding together to get somebody elected, right? It's getting small percentages and combining them to make big percentages. That's what coalition governments are. That's why in Israel, they're this coalition government is controlled by the far right, because he made deals with far right authoritarians that are basically keeping him in power. And now we see what's happening.
Wow. Yeah, I mean, I think too, the other thing is, there's the argument of you're basically voting Trump in, but also what is the long-term implications of that? And it's not just the next 4 years. And thinking about the all the judges that will be appointed by him, just like happened last time he was in office. And it has really long implications for us as citizens. On top of that, I mean, I don't know. His strategy is to keep himself in office. And so it may be really hard to roll that back once it's happened.
Well, yeah, and think about this. Like, I would tell them this, and this is again, this is a conversation that Nemo and I had. So, like, this was a line of logic we came up with together. But like, the truth of the matter is that Clarence Thomas has outlived his life expectancy, right? Maybe one other people at the Supreme Court are close, right? In the next 4 to 8 years, there's going to be one, maybe two Supreme Court seats up for grabs. Whoever is sitting in that White House when those Supreme Court seats come up for grabs is going to determine the future of the Supreme Court. So you can be someone who's like, I refuse to vote for Biden. Well, if Trump is sitting in the office when these Supreme Court justices either finally retire, become too ill to go, whatever, those seats open up, then there's going to be more of the same.
Right. The lifetime appointments. It's like, okay. So we got a long ways to go. The other thing that I'm hearing them say is that, you know, when people are saying, well, if Trump gets in office, we know it's a really like big step towards fascism, and they're saying we're already living under fascism. What do you guys think about that?
I think people don't know what fascism means. I think that's mostly what it is. Like, Joe Biden, we can't be living under fascism. If you want to call it authoritarian, fine. It's also not authoritarian. There's nothing, like, how many times has Biden been struck down by the courts? This is not an authoritarian regime, but it's just a deflection. It's because what they're seeing, what you tell them about fascism is like, it's undeniable. You can't look at Project 2025 or Agenda 47 and not say this is fascism. So what's your next best option? Your next best option is to accuse everybody else of doing what you're doing, which is exactly Roger Stone, Steve Bannon, Donald Trump. That's what they do. They always accuse everybody of exactly what they're doing. But yeah, I just think it's silly. It's dumb. And I think it's important to tell people that that's silly or dumb. Whatever tone you have to use that doesn't get them to lose their mind, like, let them know how dumb it is. I think that's important. People need to know how stupid they sound when they say Joe Biden is a fascist. It makes no sense.
Yeah, I mean, that's I've gotten into some heated discussions about this because it to me it's beyond understanding, really. I mean, I like you said at the beginning of this conversation, a lot of people don't feel good about voting for Biden, and it's specifically because of his, handling of Israel and Palestine conflict, and so I get that, but just like this, and I know Jay, because you and I both have daughters around the same age. Thinking about their future in this country is really terrifying. If we don't get something better than what we're facing right now. Now, Isn't it possible? Well, I guess Trump's pretty old. So is it possible that if he doesn't win, he would run again? I can't be here again, man.
Well, I don't think he'll ever stop campaigning. If he's president, he won't stop campaigning. If he's not president, he won't stop campaigning. It's the only thing that he makes money with.
Like what he did in the 22 midterm. He wasn't running for anything. He was still running.
True.
He's never going to stop. This is his grift. I imagine it goes on till the day he dies, and then his sons will probably take it over, and then it'll fall apart because they don't have any charisma at all, and so it'll fall.
Just remember, like, this Supreme Court mess, everyone thinks it started with like Kavanaugh. It started much earlier. One of the things I wanted to go over today and play was Lawrence O'Donnell talking about it started with Clarence Thomas. George H.W. Bush's legacy is Clarence Thomas, and Clarence Thomas, right, and Leonard Leo. Like, that's how early Leonard Leo started working on this. Like, Leonard Leo and Clarence Thomas were best friends, right? They clerked together. Leonard Leo helped Clarence Thomas study, right? Like, for his confirmation. That Leonard Leo did not take over the Federalist Society or move into a position at the Federalist Society until he helped secure Clarence Thomas's place on the Supreme Court. Like, that was the start. Then George W.'s legacy, right? Like, is Alito. This has been planned for decades and decades and decades. Trump is just the warm body. And he wants to take credit for it. But all of this, when we have, it doesn't matter who. I keep saying Republican warm body.
Republican
warm
He's
body.
not a warm body.
A beating heart. Sorry, there's construction
Barely.
going on. I live in the city. There's they need a beating heart and a warm body in that presidency, and then they use that time to confirm judges. That's why all of the federal courts now are, you see these half crazed, life begins at conception, conservative judges. That's the legacy of Republican presidents. Forget about what the presidents actually did. Look what's happened to the judicial branch. That's what happens when we let Republicans sit in the president's seat. They need a warm body, and then Leonard Leo goes to work.
Wow.
So, and also we have to put plastic down when certain Republicans sit on the seat. Because that's important to our country, and we don't want it smelling. the
No
wrong way.
piddling on the
No,
Oval
that's
Office
right.
rug.
Yeah, he's not he wasn't totally potty trained, so we're working on it though.
Just remember,
Right.
always remember, two men from Connecticut who are pretending to be from Texas, right? The Bushes are from Connecticut. They've been pretending to be from Texas for years. They are
No, I didn't even know that.
are responsible for the two biggest insurrectionists perverting the Supreme Court now. Clarence
man.
Thomas and Alito.
You can tell because
Sorry,
like
I
one,
feel very passionately about this.
What is there any good reading on this, Felice? Like is there any like book
I
or
mean, it's
anything?
all over. I don't know about a specific book. There's many books have been written on it. Sheldon Whitehouse, Senator Sheldon Whitehouse has a great book on it.
do you know what, Sheldon Whitehouse today? I don't know if it's today or yesterday. He and Raskin are bringing up like they're starting an investigation into Leonard Leo. Specifically, they announced. I'll have the video up later today. I was making it before this, but
In the Senate Judiciary. Senate
Yeah.
Sheldon Whitehouse is in charge of the Senate Judiciary, where the Democrats have power. Now, it's also, if you remember, I started to play. You guys didn't seem very interested in it, but there was a big congressional hearing involving the House and the Senate about fossil fuels, lying to the American people, right? That was Sheldon Whitehouse also. Then came out a Washington Post exclusive about Trump having a secret meeting at Mar-a-Lago with all the heads of gas and oil and saying, you guys are rich, pool your money, get me a cool billion, and I will do whatever you guys want. What happened from that is Raskin, who's again the ranking member on oversight and accountability, started an investigation and started asking for more information and documentation from these people that the Washington Post named as attending this meeting. And guess who shut it down yesterday? James Comer. James Comer shut it down. I think actually got outline
very
people. I think I
swamp-like,
put it,
Mr.
yeah,
Comer.
number 6 on the outline. There's a great article in the Washington Post about James Comer shutting down, looking into the quid pro quo going on in the fossil fuel industry. It's number 6. James Comer risks an irony overdose.
Awesome. Well, you guys, thank you so much. I appreciate
Liz.
it. It's been
Hey.
I've been wanting to get up and talk to you guys for a while because you have such, especially Felice, your knowledge, of political knowledge is phenomenal. Just astounds me.
Don't make me cry.
Jay's your
Do
good
it.
comic relief over here.
Thanks. That's what I know. I'm just a show pony.
Yep.
Tell baby daddy I said hi.
Will do.
We'll
All
see
right,
ya.
you guys. Talk to you
Bye.
later.
It's good to talk to old friends.
I like her.
Oh, she's phenomenal. Who's we got here? Rican, Texas. Welcome. Real quick, can I just read a comment real quick? I forgot. Zach said, making sure you got at least $100 today. I wish there were more people who would really debate you, but Jay, but that's not on you. Keep it up. It might be a little bit on me. In all fairness, some of that might be a little bit on me. Question: if Trump is convicted in this current case, what happens next? I want to know how long we have to wait to see jail time. Just depends on they'll appeal. They're not going to throw him in jail during the appeal. I can't imagine they do. And then we wait on appeal. I don't know how long that process is. Do you know, Felice? Or potentially how
No,
long it could be?
and who knows how many motions will drag it out. I just think it's
Yeah.
hard. It's hard to say. I mean, he's still running for president, right? Like,
Yeah.
I think it's probably nothing's going to happen before the election, right? Like,
I can't imagine. Anyway, sorry about that. Welcome, Rican, Texas.
Hi, Jay. Hi, Felice. First time caller. Hey, I just want to say on behalf, I'm an old boomer, raised in,
Oh,
in New
no.
York City.
Yeah.
I'm raised in New York City.
yeah, I hear
So,
that
and Puerto
accent.
Rican. And Puerto Rican. So on behalf of us sane Puerto Ricans, we're pulling that man's card.
Exactly. Exactly. That's the
If he
best
votes
part
for
about New
Trump,
Yorkers. You guys pull
if he
I
votes
lived
for
in
Trump, he's not Puerto Rican.
exactly
Period.
that. Are you talking about the man
And
that apologized to Trump?
yes,
Yeah.
yes,
How
him. We're
gross
pulling
is
his
that?
card. He's not Puerto Rican. I'm sorry.
It's not
Born,
invited to the
raised in New
barbecue.
York. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
No, we're pulling his card. He does not speak for the majority of us. Most of us are sane people that don't believe in conspiracy theories.
Most
So
of
I
us
just
are
want to put that two word in, and I don't want to take up too much of your time because it's Free Friday. But yeah,
appreciate it.
so on behalf of us Puerto Ricans, that man's card has been pulled starting today. Thank you
I
very
followed
much.
you. I appreciate
Same.
you coming up. I love New Yorkers. When I moved to Manhattan, that's what I met my people. Like, I think the first time, like, an old lady pushed me into the street and yelled at me as I was in a puddle that I wasn't walking fast enough. I knew I was home.
Yeah, felt right at home when you were being abused.
Exactly. I love New Yorkers. You never have to wonder where you stand with them. They will tell you straight up what is on their mind.
Brother, thank you so much. This Puerto Rican card has been revoked. Look, you heard it. You heard it here first. We're not pulling the card, but it has been pulled. So, spread the message. Great. Hey, Chris.
Hey guys, hey Felice.
Hi.
How are you, Jay? I'm gonna need you. Sorry, I muted. Jay, I'm gonna need you to walk back that snide comment you made about tuxedo cats, please.
Man, amen.
What
Let's
did I
talk about
say?
that. How dare you
I just
speak
feel like
against tuxedo cats?
I just feel like everybody wearing a tuxedo is trying too hard. That's all I'm saying. Have a little more confidence.
What just happened? Where'd you go? There he is. All cats are beautiful. That's so true.
All cats are beautiful,
So
Jay.
true. And the cats will
I
know that
apologize.
you've been speaking ill of them. They always know.
Sorry. I'm sorry. You're right. I do owe cats and all of you an apology. I take it back. Tuxedo cats are adorable, and we need more of them.
Yeah, if you want me to keep trolling Discord and your comments, I'm gonna need you to not say things like that.
That's on me. I apologize. From the bottom of my heart, I apologize.
Well, I guess I could accept it for now. And also, I think in honor of HVAC switching sides, I think I'm going to give up my spot for him and jump ship myself and go to
Headed
MAGA.
to the right.
Yeah, I think. I mean, he
How
opened
long
up the
before you
spot.
think you're in a mental institution? How long can you survive over there?
Well, all right, you tell me. You guys be the judge. You ready? Russia, Russia, Russia. Groceries, gas
Compelling.
prices, Hunter Biden's laptop. No convictions.
Yeah, dude, you got an advanced degree in MAGA already. Yeah, I think you're
good-
gonna be okay.
You're gonna fit right in.
You're gonna be a leader almost immediately.
Remember, don't forget the golden escalator. That's the
Oh,
most
yeah, they've been
important.
after him since he came down the escalator.
That's
There
right.
you go.
There you go.
There you
There
go.
you go. Now you got it. That's all
How
you
is
need
he-
to know.
How
Hey,
is he
did you
supposed
vote
to
for
get anything
Obama?
done?
Tell us you voted for Obama and you're not a Republican and you're set.
Oh, of course I voted for Obama. And then Russia, Russia, Russia.
Exactly. I mean, there's only a few things you need to say.
Oops. Yeah, that's all.
You're gonna do well.
I'm
You'll
really
be their
hoping.
leader in a couple months.
I just needed like a little bit of reassurance that I was making the right decision.
You got to
You
say
are.
both sides too. Just be like, it's both
That's true.
sides.
I mean, that's been my entire argument since I switched. We just got to come together. We just
Yeah,
gotta
you
stop
gotta
fighting.
come together.
We have to come together. That's the only way we're going to get anything done. And with just Sleepy Joe, dementia.
Can you
the
guys
vax
admit
didn't
it's
work.
both sides? Can you guys say that?
I mean, I've never heard you libs admit it.
There we go. Just remember, when you get to the right, if you're trying to come together, you got to do it quickly. Otherwise, it's not going to be together. Okay.
Well, I subscribed to Snuggles' page because I figured he was the best guy. So
Schools
we're just
is like
looking
the
for those-
Trump University of how to join MAGA.
We're just looking for those convictions. That's all. There's no convictions, so you have nothing.
That's right. And you're winning.
There's zero evidence. We're winning in 2024. There was 250,000 people in the Bronx yesterday.
There you go.
Doing well. Godspeed, my
So,
friend. You've got
in a
this.
blue state. No, did you guys see the older millennials video on that, by the way?
No,
What did he say?
no. Is he still dodging everybody's debates? A
Oh,
coward.
of course. Yeah, of course. He deleted it today, but he put up a video, and in typical fashion how he talks, and he was saying how there was all these people, and it was an Obama rally from 2007, I think.
No.
Oh yeah, he was very.
It always
confident in that
is.
video.
What's with all these hope and
Is it
change
Obama's
signs?
inauguration where like what they used for Trump's crowd
No,
sign?
it wasn't his inauguration. I forget exactly what it was, but it was like this insane crowd. Like, I mean, there was hundreds of thousands of people in this crowd probably, and that's what he was leaning on yesterday. But he since deleted it. So, but of course, he'll never concede and say he was wrong.
Of course.
Don't forget the crime in Chicago when you go over there. Don't forget to say that there's a lot of crime in Chicago.
Well, we all know it's the sanctuary cities and the immigrants because we have an open border. We're being invaded. I mean, I thought you guys knew this stuff. It's just all you just got to look around.
Chris, breaking news. Actually, just found out from Jen. We have officially traded you to the right for Drew.
I mean, that's fine. I wasn't being picky on who I switched with. I just figured Havoc or HVAC, whatever the hell his name is, was a good candidate to switch with.
I think you ought to go debate HVAC. And Drew, welcome to the team. It's good to have you.
Yeah, I mean, I'm just going to use all his points against him. So I don't know if I want to take that debate right now. All his former points. He had some good ones.
He had some
They
good
were
ones.
so good. I figured I'll just use a whole bunch of words that I have absolutely no idea what the meaning is, completely out of context. That's a good place to start.
Yeah.
I'd
Look,
say
I
things
just
like
think that
analogous
in
all
this,
the time.
yeah, I just think in this conversation, it's superlative. That's what I think.
Yeah, it's analogous, and what else did he?
Yeah, you need to ground that. You need to ground that. I
Yeah,
think.
what?
Just say here. Just the last thing. Say ectopic pregnancy, and then we'll let you go. Just say it.
Ectopic pregnancy.
They nailed it. All right, Chris. See you later.
Bye,
There we
Chris.
go. I wanted to give him a real HVAC exit. I wanted him to feel getting cut off. That's what it's gonna feel like over there. Guys, just real quick, Cat Mama, welcome. We have 20 minutes and there's 4 people in the box, so just try to keep it like relatively short so we can get to everybody. Because I do have to go at 1. Hey, Cat Mama.
Hello. My mom and my sister and I always say happy Friday, bitches. So happy Friday, bitches.
Thank you.
Epcot pregnancy. That's funny. Sorry, so many good comments. Favorite joke.
It's apricot pregnant, I think. Yeah.
Okay, so Jay, I was going to ask if you're going to be on this weekend on the late night debates. That's when it gets really fun and not as politically contentious.
Look, so right now I'm going to say no, but I don't have my daughter this weekend for the first time ever, and I'm pretty sure that all these plans I have of what I'm gonna do, like I'm gonna wind up not doing them. And so yeah, probably. Like at some point I'm gonna get elevated and bored and I'll show up somewhere, I'm sure.
Okay. And what's your favorite platform to be on? Like who else's?
Oh, I love hanging out with Liv.
I know. Yeah.
I have a massive respect for Hog Boss. So anytime I can be over there and help his platform, I think those are the 2 that I probably like being at the most is Liv and Hog Boss.
Okay. I'll keep it short. Love you, Felice, and thank you. Y'all have a good Friday, bitches.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Bye. Love
Bye.
her too.
I thought I was gonna get some cat shade there. That's what I thought was gonna happen.
By the way, don't say
shit,
anything bad about cats.
Sorry, I apologize.
I know
Sorry.
that was really
You brought it
unpopular.
back
Don't
up,
ever.
And my coworker is here. We both have cats. I was gonna say
sorry.
find you and take you down, but I don't like making threats on the
The
internet.
cats will do it for us. They know.
All right,
Okay,
Camp Mama.
drop
Have a
me.
good weekend. All right,
Okay,
I
you
got
too.
you. Mabulk Holt.
You can call me Marlene.
Thank God. Hi, Marlene.
You're a nurse, right?
Yes, yes.
Yeah.
See, I
Yeah,
remember.
Felice and I had a chance to talk last
While
week
you were puking.
while you were puking. So
Well,
it's
this nurse
nice to
didn't do
actually
it.
chat with you, Jay.
Yeah, you didn't do anything to help me when I was puking. I don't know if you really are a nurse because I just kept
Yeah.
puking. So I don't know.
No, I'm a pediatric nurse, so you're much too old for me.
But I'm kind of a baby. So
Well, I wanted to talk just a little bit about the Supreme Court, but first, Chris forgot it's a weaponized DOJ and it's a witch hunt.
that's we forgot those. Chris, add those.
Cat's giving you a cat massage on your shoulders. That's pretty. It's a weaponized DOJ.
So,
Everything
I
is a
think-
witch hunt.
I would like to dive just a little bit deeper into the Supreme Court and say that if a Republican, specifically Trump, gets in next in 2024 in November or January, not only is it likely that we'll have one or two, I think it's really likely that both Alito and Thomas will retire so Trump can replace them with
For sure.
30 and 40-year-old judges, which leaves us 2 generations of a conservative majority, which is just terrifying.
Yeah, I think that's a better way to say. I just want to be clear. Like, yes, I do also believe that. I don't think that Alito and Thomas, I think they will retire. That's an option. Like when I say they die, I just say that because it's lifetime appointments. But
Sure.
that doesn't necessarily have to happen. What's most likely to happen when there's a Republican in the White House, they will retire. These are insurrectionist sycophants who are flying appeal to heaven flags. Like, I don't think you understand like what those flags mean. There's a good piece on that I will, but it's ensuring a new, younger, lifelong appointment on the Supreme Court is something Alito most likely will do. I agree. They don't have to unalive. They just have to recognize it's their time and retire when a Republican is in office, and then they will appoint someone younger.
They might try to stick it out if Biden wins, which I hope he does. But definitely, I think that if Trump wins, they will both retire without question.
Yeah, I think that's a very good prediction. Remember, third-party voters, just remember that. Do you want younger, longer-living versions of Alito and Justice Thomas? Do you want that? I don't think so.
All right. Thanks. Nice to
Thank
talk to
you.
you guys. Bye.
You too.
Drop
Sorry
me.
I missed you last week. I deeply regret it. See it. All right, next. Hi, Sherry.
Hi, guys. How are
Hi.
you today?
Wonderful.
I first want to say that I am a baby boomer. And I am tired of hearing how baby boomers don't get it. I am a lifelong Democrat. I get it, guys. And the worst part about it is I'm stuck in Texas, okay? I get
A
it.
blue dot in a sea of red. We get. I understand. I'm in Arizona.
When
No, but
I was
I said. I believe. I agree with you. It doesn't matter what age anyone is. It's just when you refuse to take in new knowledge. Like you can be 20 years old or you could be 80 and refuse to learn, refuse to grow, refuse to change opinions based on new data. So I understand and I agree with you. It's
Girl.
not about age.
I was one of those protesters back in the 60s. I'm with it. I understand all this.
Yeah,
I'm
the
cool.
real Antifa. I get it.
Right. So, and that's the first thing I want to say. The second thing I want to tell y'all is I was the first Democrat to show up at my primary place. They did not know what, there was paperwork they had to give me. They couldn't figure out because I had to sign this thing because of course I voted straight Democrat. And anyway, she didn't know what to do with me, but they finally figured it out. It was a little Catholic church. I live in a town that's got like 500 people. And the second thing I want to say is I do take on the MAGAs in my area, but I have to be careful because they're dangerous. But my neighbor across the street, he said what all MAGAs never say on your lives. He said, Sherry, you have to vote for Trump because the Mexicans and all those are going to overtake, and there'll be more of them than us whites. And that is something everybody needs to know, that that is what they really are, and they never come out and they never say it. And I said to him, "You said I consider him a friend. He's a great guy." And let me also tell you that I got badly flooded during Harvey. I had 5 feet of water in my house. We lost everything. I had to throw out everything in my house. And there was Mexicans working on the house next to me in plumbing. They came to my house and they fixed my plumbing for free. And they have got hearts of gold, and they were working. I have no idea if they were in the country legal. I really didn't care. I was in a crisis and they helped me. And I know that that's just an individual case, but I have never met a Mexican in Texas that has been rude to me, has not been respectful to me. It might be my gray hair, but they are great. They are hardworking. You can see them coming in truck and a pickup truck, and the white guy is sitting in the truck, and all the Mexicans are sitting in the tailgate, and he's taking them to a job site to work. So, yay for all you people, undocumented workers, because you're important to us. And I just want
agree.
to say that. And go Boomers, and you guys have a great
Boomers.
weekend.
Hey, I love you. Keep up the fight. We appreciate.
70 years old, and I can keep up with the best of them. So.
Tear them up. I don't doubt that for 1 second.
Okay, love you guys.
Thanks, Sherry. Love you. See you.
Have a great weekend.
You too.
Let me read a comment real quick while the next guest is coming up. This is from Patrick. And Patrick Felice wants you to know. Are you listening?
This about the Cheesecake Factory?
No.
No. Okay, go ahead.
It's not. Patrick wants you to know, I'm not a perfect person. There's many things I wish I didn't do, but I continue learning.
Oh, not this
I never
song.
meant to do those things to you.
No,
and so I have
immediately
to
this
say,
song. I'll never get
before
this out
I
of my
go, that I just want you to know. There you go.
Yeah.
What's up, John Stone?
Thanks, Patrick, for making me relive that.
My one egg cost me $30 because Biden done shut down the Keystone Pipeline. You
Chris,
can't
did
forget
you
the
hear
Keystone
that?
Pipeline.
That's another one you need to
Not
remember.
the Keystone Pipeline egg crisis. No.
A classic.
It's 3.5 years later, and we still have to explain to them that the XL pipeline never carried a drop of oil.
Maybe they thought it was the
It's so sad.
XL pipeline.
Eggs.
Yeah, the eggs.
Come on.
Oh,
I killed
yes.
that one. Yeah, thank you.
Did somebody put in the comments apricot pregnancy?
Yeah, I did. I saw
Epcot.
that.
But Jay said apricot.
There was Epcot as well, yeah.
I gotta go back through the comments and follow that person.
Yeah.
Hey, I just wanted to tell you guys are great. Thank you so much. And, have a good day.
Thanks, John.
Thank you.
Always appreciate it.
That's hilarious. The price of eggs is high because of the Keystone. I wish that wasn't what they say, but it truly was.
That would
Egg
be a real
topic.
problem.
Get it? Egg
topic? Who
That's
said
a
it?
good
Well
Gregory
done.
in the comments.
Well
Give
done.
it to Gregory. Egg
Part
topic.
debates.
Epoxy pregnancy is
All
a good
right,
one too.
so I'm down here in evangelist country, and I thought I'd help Chris over to the right side here, and
The Bible Belt.
kind of left a few things out. So everybody forgets, it's Donald J. Trump. And they never said what the J stands for. It's Jesus. He is the second coming of Jesus. He is our Lord and Savior. And all these people that are just trying to slander him, it's horrendous. I just can't take it. So this Memorial Day, remember when the sun rises and you see your family, be thankful for Donald Jesus Trump. He is our Savior.
Praise the Lord.
Praise
Amen.
Jesus. Praise Donald.
All right, everybody.
Thanks,
May
my
the Lord be with you. May you feel him inside of you.
May we never feel him inside of us.
It's a warm, semi-firm feeling. That's what the feeling is like when the good Lord is
What if
inside
I don't want to feel him inside of me?
For the love of God.
I do not consent.
Hey, bad news. He
That
doesn't
consent.
care
He
about
doesn't
that.
care about
Yeah.
consent.
He's not
Yeah, I
worried
realize
about that.
that's optional.
Yeah.
No, I came to yell
He's rich,
at
so there's no
Jay.
such thing as consent when you're rich, is what we learned.
Absolutely. You can do whatever you want. They don't care.
That's right.
No, you guys, I didn't come up here to be funny today. I just came up to yell at Jay and tell Felice I love her. Because Jay's a jerk, and he had promised me a phone call 2 months ago.
Oh my
and
God.
He still hasn't gotten a hold of me. And I'm still salty about a guest from 2 months ago. I am still mad. And Jay, I am not going to hash this out here and embarrass you because you will not come out on top in this. So you owe me a call. I don't care how elevated you are.
Yes, ma'am.
I'm just saying, Jay.
I apologize. That's on me. I did forget, and I love you. And I'm sorry.
You have now reached the find out portion of that fuck around program you've been trying to run on me all these months. So suck it, Jay. Just suck it. I love you, Felice. Have a wonderful weekend. When I have my Tootsie Pop, I will think of you. That's how I'm getting off pop, Felice. I got my Tootsie Pops. I have chocolate Tootsie Pops.
It really is an oral fixation.
And I will just say, this is how grandma I am, and I will leave. As I was going through my hard candy selection, I have a big bag of those raspberry grandma
For
candies.
your pocketbook?
Well, except I carry a backpack out of habit now because I had the cane for so long. But no, I have the
You gotta have
individually
your weight
wrapped.
evenly distributed. I get it. Why
Yeah.
not? Backpacks are where it's at.
I have individually wrapped raspberry candies with the soft raspberry filling in them.
I know exactly. The red with like the green or the green. I know.
No, not those. Those are what are those called? Strawberry cordials parfait, strawberry parfait.
You're right.
Yeah. So no, these are little ones. They're shaped like raspberries, but I've got those. I've got 1.5 pounds of chocolate Tootsie Roll Pops, and I have 3 varieties of sugar-free Werthers. So if anybody,
the Werthers.
And I will say this though, they are all individually wrapped. I am not that grandma. I do not keep tissue shoved up my sleeve in real life. And all my candies are individually wrapped. So Grandma's Purse candy. I see you in the comments, Carissa Green. Thank you. Grandma's Purse candy. So I just wanted to say I hope you guys have a great weekend. Jay, if you don't call me, I'm going to make your life a living hell and stalk you on this app to the ends of the earth. Okay? Have I made myself abundantly clear?
Yes, ma'am.
Crystal.
I am not afraid of the desert, Jay. I have COPD and I'm in congestive heart failure. I like the heat. I like it that it's dry. I will come down there and die on your front porch, Jay. I will come down there and die. And I am a fat woman, Jay. You will not be able to get me off your porch.
That's the real punishment, is someone's dead body weight.
Mm-hmm. Especially if I block your door and you can't get out in the morning. Yeah, just like when your dog decides to go to the Rainbow Bridge during the night and you didn't know, and next thing you're trapped in your bedroom. That's a true story. R.I.P. Brandy. I'm sorry, dead dog Paula, that happened.
So long story short, you better call her.
Yeah, I think that's the message, if I'm getting it right. Is that the message? I'm so sorry, Miss Julie.
Because
You're right.
I will find dead dog Paula and I will make her tell you this story and you will be horrified.
I'm gonna
So
call. Please don't let's not let that happen, please.
Yeah.
I will call. Okay. I
yeah,
love
you
and
will
I'm
find
sorry.
out, Jay. All right.
Okay.
I love you. I love you, Felice. Have the best weekend, you guys. And everybody that's here in the comments, oh my God, the comments are one of the best parts of the live. I mean, I love getting the news, but oh my gosh, absolute best part. Sorry, my chocolate just kicked in. All right. I splurged and got chocolate. It works faster. Love you. Bye.
Bye. Jesus.
It won't drop me.
I gotcha. That's terrifying. I'm terrified.
I
of Miss
love Aunt Julie.
Yeah.
I
All right.
always agree with everything she says.
Who is next? Jen. Let's see. Jen, we got a little more time.
Tres minutos más, as we say in Mexico, that's south of here. Oh, it's true.
Chris.
I
Oh,
got
Drew.
muted for the first time in months. I deserve
Is
it.
that where you went?
W
I
mods.
stopped seeing your
I was a dick
constant
the whole
running
time.
commentary.
I was a dick this whole time. I deserved it.
All right. Did you hear that we traded you? You're on our team now?
Listen, you know what? Honestly, and I thought about this the other day, and all jokes aside, I like the controversy, I like the argument and everything else. But when it comes to the Supreme Court, that's something that I can't have like a totally topsy-turvy, right-leaning, religious bullshit Supreme Court. I really can't. And that's like all seriousness. That's something that would really change my mind.
Drew has
So
a
you're
line. We just
saying-
found Drew's line.
What are you saying,
but
Drew?
honestly, I honestly
He has
think that-
daughters. Drew, you have 3 daughters. You are
Yeah, no, I know.
absolutely right. Think about their future. Think about them being relegated to the Handmaid's Tale.
Because I don't think Trump is that way, but what he's doing is he's getting these people that do
he's
think that
ushering
way.
it in. You're absolutely right. Trump is not that way. I completely agree with you. Trump
Yeah.
is not religious. Trump was pro-choice, and I think in Trump's case, he would like women
Yeah,
to be
he
able to
panders
have
to
that
them 'cause he
option.
has
I
to,
think
because
he
they're a big
definitely
voting
does.
bloc.
But I think he's ushering in a Christian nationalist judiciary
Yeah,
because
I don't want any
it
part of
agrees
that.
with his interests, which are getting him off for some crimes.
Well, actually getting him elected too. But that's what it is. No, you're right. And again, I joke around and I like to be the counter person, but when it comes to that, that's like really scary. It really
I
is.
love that. And I've got, you can participate in this then. This is from Snark Attack. A lawyer asked Mickey Mouse, so you want to divorce Minnie because she's extremely silly? And Mickey said, can I do this? What does Mickey's voice sound like? Oh,
Crazy.
Mickey.
like you inhaled helium.
Hey,
Yeah.
I'm Mickey Mouse. There we go. No, I said she's fucking goofy.
That's hilarious.
That was a good way to
Bad
end
Mickey.
this.
Thank you. All right, Drew. And welcome
All right,
to
guys,
the
have a good
team.
weekend.
Sorry about the mute. We
Nah,
get
it's
you
all right,
next
it's all
time. All right, see ya. All right, Jen, go ahead. Let's see. I don't need just do whatever.
Hi, real
Katrina.
quick. Hi,
Yes.
you guys. RTP. I'm rooting for you with Jasmine Crockett. So,
Thank you.
I just want to let you know, there was a female that was at the airport and saw Marjorie Taylor Greene and walked up to her and said, "Hey, you beach bond." It pissed you off, didn't it? I want you guys to look at the video.
Oh, it's out? She's
It's out
never
right now.
going to live this down for the rest of her life because I'm just saying, this is what you get for insulting Jasmine Crockett. And I also would like to say about that this is what men do in Congress all day long. We had Mark Wayne Mullen. He tried to fight the vice president of the Teamsters in Congress, tried to fist fight somebody at a congressional hearing. But when women do it, oh, it's a cat fight. Oh, it's a disgrace. The real emotional people in Congress and in the world are men. But when women express any emotion, then all of a sudden we have a problem. And yeah, this is what Margarine gets. You want to insult someone's appearance for the rest of your life, this is going to follow you around.
And can I just do a quick rant really quick for all the Trumpsters? Like, this is like really pissing me off because I've been seeing a lot, I've been going on a lot of conservative lives and, they always talk about Biden being a sniffer. Okay. And then, RTP made a good point as a parent. We do sniff our children. I have 2 constantly, especially my son. Very concerning with my boy. But I mean, at the end of the day, we do sniff, okay? We do sniff our children. But the thing that they don't realize, especially with their footage that they put out, all the parents are right there. So all the videos that they put out, the parents are in the background. So are you upset with just Biden? Or are you upset with the parents that are allowing this person that you think that's so weird to sniff their children? I'm just so sick of it.
Well, and I always hear, and I don't have any children that I know of, right? But But I always hear
Please, where
parents.
would the kids be?
Well, I used to drink. I don't drink anymore, but I
Oh
used to.
God.
I don't know.
Okay.
I could have been on a bender. I'm just saying I don't have any that I know of. But
Okay.
I always hear parents say like, or like, not just parents talking about how good babies smell and all of this. Like, are these weirdos? Like, I don't know. You guys are all always saying it.
And then there's another thing. I know I'm a weirdo. Judge me if you want. But there's sometimes some beautiful sisters, and I'm saying sisters as women of color. They are very big on hygiene, and sometimes they smell extravagant. Okay, again, I am bisexual, so sometimes
I know
follow
exactly
them
what you're
because I'm
talking
trying
about.
to like
I'm there.
insert that smell in my brain so I can find it usually. But it's just like I'm a sniffer all day. So for you to make it seem like it's just a weird thing, like sometimes kids and people, and I know RTP smells good. Like you could tell, ladies.
I
Look at
shower. I shower once or twice a week.
and you
For
can tell
sure.
RTP
Smells-
washes his legs. You can
You
tell
guys, smells
that,
are
okay?
most closely attached to memory. It's like it's the most powerful scent that we have. Like at PTSD camp, don't ask, but where I was learning to deal with my PTSD, like we talk about using scents in order to bring you out of PTSD episodes. And like, that's why I have lilac and lavender. And so, yeah, like scent is closely attached to memory. You smell something that you recognize, it triggers a memory, like human scent. Yeah, like we're more attracted to each other's smells than we are to our looks.
That's
Like
true.
those are facts.
And
But
then
you
also,
can't bring
Biden
facts
lost
to
a
MAGA.
child, so I think that brings him back when he sees little kids, especially little girls too. I'm just speaking from my heart. I know a lot of people say it's like the devil on both sides. I think that Biden is just a grandpa, and he just loves people, love being around people. And it just bothers me when I hear people, and what RTP said before in his life, because I'm always in his lives, when he said, you guys sexualize it. You're so weird. Like, that's just so weird to me. But I've been seeing, especially in conservative lives, they've been talking about that a lot. And it's just really pissing me off. Because it's like, you're supporting a whole convicted rapist. And you're sitting up here talking about Biden, who's a grandpa. Okay.
Which it's the projection, right?
It
like
is.
when you look at who traditionally is essaying people, like look no further than the Republican Party, and then they projected, like in the words of Ted Cruz, their psychology. It's a psychology textbook. Donald Trump, whatever you're guilty of, project it onto another person.
It's also always been a weapon used by fascists. That's what
That's
they do.
so
They
true.
accuse their opponent of abusing children. Why? Because like that's the crazy thing about all this. Like that's a wild accusation to lob at somebody, not just because the crime itself is horrific, but also because just people thinking that about you makes you completely ostracized. Like that's a wild thing to accuse somebody of
True.
without any evidence. And again, one person that's ever run for president that I know of had somebody, like an actual court case from a child accusing them of abusing them, and that person that said both old Jeffrey and Donald were in on this, they wound up having to dropping it, and they said like, yeah, they were afraid for their life. So you can believe that or not, but there's not even an accusation against Biden. There isn't one.
No.
And the way that the right will go out of their way, I mean, I've heard some of the shit people say about me. The things that they're willing to smear people with just out of their love and their undying devotion to Donald Trump is really, really fucking gross. But it is a fascist thing. This is what fascists do. It's what they've always done.
And then I also want to get this off my chest too. Like, you have to understand that man, and again, I am a huge fan of you guys. That man literally had sex unprotected with a person that is in the porn industry. Now, I understand it's nothing wrong with that, but he just asked her, and she could have lied. She could have lied and said, yeah, he asked her, or it said it's on the deposition. He asked her, did you have STD testing? So you're taking her word for it. And you had a newborn at home. And it's just disgusting.
Sex workers have extremely low rates of STIs, and
I
that's why
understand that.
she worked for Wicked Pictures, because there's mandatory STI testing. So no, but that's a common, like, I support sex work. I don't think, yeah, like that's, I don't know. I mean,
Yeah.
they have a lower average rate of STIs than the general population.
I'm not worrying about with her, but my thing is you took her word for it. Like, you actually took your word for it. You actually have a whole wife at home. I'm more concerned about you taking someone's word for it instead of you. It's just like, to me, I just think that's just so, it just shows his character. You're taking someone's word for it. I don't know you from a can of paint. And it's just like, and for you, knowing that you have a wife at home with a newborn, that to me, I'm looking at your character. So if you're willing to raw dog it with someone that you just met, I'm a little concerned. You'll raw dog anybody then. That's how I feel. That's just how I feel. And I'm so pro, Stormy, like all day. But to me, I was just telling my mom that, like, because my father's a whore. So I was telling her, like, these men are just disgusting. They're willing to put their just thing in anything. And it's just like, we as women have to go over and beyond, because we're the ones with the most symptoms if they bring something back to us. It's just disgusting. And you had a whole newborn at home, and you know how sanitary newborns are. Like, ew. Trump is a disgusting creature. I just can't stand that man. But I just wanted to get that off my chest. I love you guys.
Thank you. I'm glad we could be here for you. So yeah, let me read. Let's do. God, there's 4. Let's do. Look, Jen, there's we got 2 subscribers that are in there. Let's take care of them, and then we'll have to go. Sorry, guys, I got to cut it short, but we have the 2 people that are subscribers. Bring them up, and then we got to go. I do need to read some comments. Wasn't me.
Greg,
Said,
funny.
Has anyone checked Trump's stock purchases of Depends? I don't think we've checked that. Maybe this was all a ploy. And Patrick, who gave us the Huba Stank lyrics, said, I don't recall dedicating Huba Stank to Felice. You're right, Patrick, I assumed, and I apologize. You did not dedicate it to Felice. That means it was dedicated to me, and I love you too, Patrick. Gregory, welcome.
Hey, Jay, how you doing?
Good, man. How are you?
Pretty good. I just wanted to jump up and ask.
Is that a Lincoln Project hat? Is that what that is?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
My God, I like Lincoln Project more than Huba Stank.
Yeah, I've been involved with them for a couple years.
I've seen your videos
Involved
a bunch.
with them?
You
What
make
are you
great
doing
content.
with them? What's going on there?
I'm a contributor, but that's why I wanted to come up more than anything is we've got a subsidiary project. It's called jointheunion.us. And all lowercase, jointheunion.us. And what that does, the Lincoln Project will not hit you up for any money or anything like that. They'll ask you what your talents are, whether it's social media, if you can do phone banking, postcards, anything like that. But what we do is we're trying to get the vote out in November, and they'll basically link you up to where your skills would fit. And it's all about voter turnout, because I mean, at this point, we're not going to change any minds. MAGA, they are who they are. You can't learn them nothing. But that's all I wanted to come up for. I'm a
This is a
moderator over
great
with
website.
Facts.
I was gonna say you're a Faxo moderator.
Yeah, I do the promo videos and all that. I deal with Jen all the time.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm
Oh
sorry.
no, she's great. She's great.
Yeah, sure she is. That's what everybody tells me.
I hear you, but that's all I was wanting to do was come up and try to plug that. If it's jointheunion.us, I'm going to go ahead and put it in the chat right now. It's
filling
also
it
in
in
my
right
link
now.
tree. Okay, and what they'll do is they'll get you hooked up with wherever your skills are and help.
This is awesome.
Me personally, I'm going to be doing some rideshare stuff on election day. I'm going to go into one of the bigger cities in my area and getting people out to the polls. And there's just a lot of work that needs to be done out there. And just, anybody who could come up, we'd be glad to have you. They'll do a quick little online meeting with you and get you going. We've got about 67,000 people volunteering right now.
This is awesome.
This is cool. Yeah, I'm doing the same thing Felice is. I'm literally filling this out as we speak. Guys, go there. I'll drop the link in the Discord too, but go there. This is awesome.
Okay, and I won't take up any more of your time. I watch you guys every day.
You can do researching, influencing,
yes.
social media,
Yes.
writing, editing, communications, graphic design, voter registration, videographer, photographer, wherever needed most, community outreach. Yeah, so there's tons of things you can do.
Yep, and we're going to have a lot larger presence on TikTok now that all the high school graduates are graduating and stuff. We've got people already lined up to start doing a lot of stuff on TikTok. But I just wanted to jump up and kind of give a little plug and really appreciate what you guys are doing. And if y'all ever need anything, just tell Jen. She knows how to get a hold of me.
Thanks, man. They appreciate it. That was super helpful.
Hey, you guys have a good day.
You too.
Thank you so
Bye,
much.
Felice. Well, me and
Bye.
Felice are mutuals. Jay, he's too good to follow me, but
No, I'm following you.
oh, are you? Okay.
Well, I
Yeah.
followed him first.
I might have been. I
so
might only have been
never
following
forget
you
that,
since
Gregory.
you came up. But I've seen your. But I saw your videos the other day. I think it was just maybe suggested to me. Yeah. So.
Yes, sir. You guys have a good weekend. Have a good holiday.
All right, buddy.
Bye.
We'll see you.
Thanks. Bye.
Sorry. I apologize. Last guest here. This is I love you. Stop asking. Sorry you waited forever. Jen, for some reason, doesn't always see all the guests. Like they don't show up, so she didn't see you. So I think you've been in the queue forever. So sorry about that.
Yeah, at least a hot minute.
Sorry. Well, you
Very
get
hot.
you get the final word today.
Excellent. Can that word be anti-disestablishmentarianism?
It can be whatever you want it to be, and that's an excellent word.
It was my favorite. You can make so many words out of that.
Great game of Boggle.
Right? Nobody will play me at Boggle. I might know a word or two. No, I had two things and I forgot the second one, but the first one is, how likely do you think that Mershon will put Trump in jail for contempt while he waits on the appeals? Like, I've seen a couple of posts saying that may happen. I don't think it's likely, but I wanted to see your take.
I was talking about this. I don't know. I honestly, I think that clearly Judge Merchan is doing everything he can to not put Trump in jail. Like, truly, like it's a disaster, but like there's different forms of jail. Like, I don't know, like in the courtroom, like I was listening to them say, like maybe that if he can't stop violating the gag order, maybe that's him sitting in one of the court cells and lunch instead of getting to go to his microphone and whine. So I think there's like different forms. Do I think like he's going to be, if he is found guilty of something and then is appealing, like, do I think he's going to be in jail prior to the election? In my personal opinion, no.
I agree with that. I wouldn't add anything to that. Yeah.
Excellent. Okay, well, like I said, I forgot the other thing that I was going to say. So, anti-disestablishmentarianism, and y'all have a great weekend.
Do you love me?
So much.
Stop asking.
I'll stop asking.
Yeah.
You.
Stop asking. I
Sorry
love
about
Felice more though, so.
Yeah, thanks.
And what a
Yeah.
great note to end on.
Thank you. All right, thank you. Have a good weekend.
You too.
All right, Felice, are you doing any lives this weekend? Do you have any
Maybe,
planned?
yeah. It just depends on if I get sleep. I did just get like 12 hours of sleep, so I'm feeling much better than I was yesterday. So possibly let me
Felice
know.
is like a chipmunk with her sleep. She just she gathers it. Once she's exhausted, the cheeks are full. She'll take 12 hours and then go on a bender of 3 hours a night again.
That's exactly what happens. Yeah, I pretty much sleep like 3 to 4 hours a night until Thursday night, and then I crash.
And now we're here, and we'll be back on Monday. Even though it's a holiday on Monday, we will be here, and we'll be here every weekday, Monday through Friday, 9 a.m. Pacific to 1, or 9:30 Pacific to 1 Pacific. Is where I fucked that whole thing up. We'll be here. If you want a link to the Discord, shoot me or Jen a message. And this weekend, if you miss us, head on over to the YouTube. Make sure you're subscribed. It's free. Like a few videos, comment. And if you're ever not wanting to be on TikTok, we stream these lives on YouTube as well, so you can catch us there. Anything else, Felice?
Nope. Have a great weekend, guys.
All right, everybody. Enjoy your long weekend if you have one. And if you don't have a long weekend, tell your boss.